top of the dozens of goods that were hit with 50% tariffs this weekend. It comes as the administration says new sanctions on Iran are coming later today, with Iranian officials saying they're going to crack down on oil shipments if those new measures go through.
There has been a U.S. naval blockade in place for some time now, stopping these shadow tankers from being able to get in and out of Iranian ports and trade Iranian oil. But Iran still does manage to trade a lot of oil overland and through other means. And so what the Treasury and the White House wants to do is to penalize countries that buy this oil, that is China, India, Turkey primarily, and also go after what are called the teapot refineries in China, where they refine some of this crude oil.
ABC's James Longman, and officials in Nevada now say they believe the Hawk fire was human-caused. This is ABC News. A French tourist is dead after his car got stuck in Death Valley. ABC's Wayne Cabot has details.
No other vehicles around. He and his companion abandoned their car, walked across the salt flats, temperatures of 116. About a mile in, the 68-year-old couldn't go anymore. So his friend continued until flagging down a motorist who called 911. But by the time that the California Highway Patrol helicopter located the man Monday, it was too late. He had died. Death Valley's Park Service telling travelers to stay on paved roads during this extreme heat. Wayne Cabot, ABC News.
Settlement discussions called off today in the case attempting to block Paramount from merging with Warner Brothers. California Attorney General Rob Bonta saying Paramount acted in bad faith by leaking details of a meeting that was held on Friday. And the prosecution is set to continue its rebuttal today in the Lindsay Clancy trial. She's the Massachusetts mom accused of strangling her 3 children in 2023. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
Police in Enumclaw found the suspected killer in an Oregon quintuple homicide. But first, KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. Downtown Seattle, I-5, it is almost completely blocked right now. Only the right lane, the far right lane, is getting by. The rest of the freeway is blocked. It's going to take you at least 35 minutes longer than usual. Other drive times right now, Renton to Bellevue approaching 40 minutes. The North End is still struggling this morning. It's about an hour and 15 from Everett to Seattle and an hour from Everett to Bellevue. This traffic report is brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. The man suspected of killing 5 people on a rural Oregon property has been found dead in Enumclaw. Washington County Sheriff Caprice Massey tells KIRO 7 TV 36-year-old Benjamin Charles Parker was found inside his pickup truck on Sunday.
Officers with the Enumclaw Police Department found Parker's vehicle and was located deceased inside. It is believed he died by suicide.
Police tracked Parker to Enumclaw using license plate reading cameras. The sheriff's office was first called to the property outside Forest Grove Saturday morning for a vehicle fire. 5 people and several domestic animals were found dead. A deadly shooting is under investigation right now in Linwood. Police say officers responded just after 11 last night to reports of gunfire at a gas station along 44th Avenue West. An adult male was found with multiple gunshot wounds and later died. Another man was arrested at the scene. Witnesses or anyone with information are asked to contact Linwood Police. Now to a deadly shooting in Olympia, which is also under investigation after 2 people were killed Friday in what police believe was a shootout.
Police believe some sort of argument broke out between a 20-year-old man and a 17-year-old teenage boy, which quickly led to gunfire. A person off camera told us he heard up to 6 shots.
Olympia Basin Route, West Side Lane Restaurant, 2200 Garfield Street Northwest.
Upon arrival, police say they found the 20-year-old man dead along with multiple shell casings. Police say the 17-year-old who was also shot was taken to a nearby hospital by a witness. That teen later died in the hospital.
That was KIRO 7 TV's Jake Chapman reporting. A suspected drunk driver running from a state trooper killed 1 person on I-5 near Federal Way yesterday morning. The trooper tried to stop 24-year-old Kent man from a DUI around 3 a.m. The driver took off southbound for about 13 miles, then slammed into another car near South 336th Street. 1 of the 4 people in the car was killed. 3 others were hospitalized with injuries not considered life-threatening. The suspect was arrested for vehicular homicide, eluding, and DUI. Now to your forecast on this Monday morning. We've got some low clouds coming, but they will clear. We've got some haze also in the atmosphere today. Highs today will be in the 70s and 80s. Right now, it's about 62 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
I cannot believe that you guys did not tell me. I had no idea.
About?
I had no idea how satisfying, gratifying, and how on top of the world you feel when you purge a bunch of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And you get ready for the dump. That when people keep asking me,
yes.
Oh, gee, did you work this weekend? Didn't even feel like I was working. I had no idea, Ursula. I mean,
it was a cleansing.
There we go. It was a cleansing. I spent all day Saturday the garage and putting off stuff to the side for the dump and getting rid of clothes, and Lillian was in the pantry and this and that, and Sunday I went out to the shed and did a whole bunch of stuff. But I just can't believe I didn't know how satisfying. But the cleansing, you just nailed it.
You feel lighter today.
You
feel lighter today.
I feel lighter. It's like it was.
I wish I could say the same.
Good morning, Ursula.
Good morning.
Yeah.
We have a super full show for you coming up at 9:30.
Yeah.
We're going to share the story of a Seattle area couple who were desperate to have a child, and that journey cost them $64,000. And so we have a simple question. Should Washington require insurance companies to cover IVF? Muckleshoot Casino and Resort text line is 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO.
Time to get to it. Top stories of the day brought to you by Pendergast Law.
And with school just about to get rolling again, a principal accused of failing to act on years of warnings about a teacher's inappropriate behavior with students is going to keep a $200,000 a year job with the Edmonds School District. The Herald reports the school board unanimously approved a new one-year contract for former Meadowdale Elementary Principal Dan Davis. Now, he stepped down after parents demanded his removal over the district's handling of a teacher named David Sibley, who had been the focus of repeat concerns before a student accused him of rape. Prosecutors declined to charge that teacher, saying that they lacked enough admissible evidence. But now the principal, he's not going to be returning to Meadowdale. Instead, the district moved him into a principal on special assignment job working on certain projects. And district officials say, state law gives veteran principals like him, veteran meaning 3 years or more, strong job protections, and firing or demoting would be very difficult, which, of course, is angering a lot of parents. They're saying if failing to act on warnings this serious doesn't cost a principal his job, what does?
Yeah. Ursula, on the show, I have constantly talked about the system and/or systems. Is it possible that with this story and many others, sometimes we talk about cops, sometimes we talk about teachers, is it possible that we have, in this case, created systems that are so good in preventing mistreatment of their employees, right? We want to make sure that all of those that are teachers that are safe, so they built a system to protect them, and the system is so good that it actually protects them from having to be accountable, if that kind of makes sense, right? So in this case, and in teachers, and we've heard it before, we could take other stories when it comes to teachers, like, oh my goodness, that teacher still got that job.
And or strong union protections.
Right.
Yep.
Or sometimes, Ursula, maybe you might do a story, top stories of the day, and you say this teacher or this person has been removed from their position. And then you come and see that they got removed. Be like, wait. They got removed, but they still got a job. All they did was just move them somewhere else. So there was many angles to take on this story, and I think the angle is sometimes we've created these systems that are so strong to prevent mistreatment that we prevent accountability in the meantime.
And I think, yes.
Yeah.
And I think, despite these strong state laws in favor of job protections, these are such serious allegations. And I would argue that if the district had done its job properly, there should be a paper trail showing what this principal knew, when he knew it, and how he responded. And if that record shows that he failed to act on repeated warnings involving the safety of kids, then fire his you-know-what.
Mm-hmm.
Let him challenge it in court. I mean, the district's first responsibility is not protecting his paycheck, it's protecting kids. I mean, think about it. A principal's number one job is to keep students safe. The district absolutely failed. And the principal failed. And I'm just going to say, if your assignment is protecting kids, they both deserve an F. And I think this is outrageous.
Right. And it is outrageous. But how many times correct me if I'm wrong, since we've been doing the show together, this pattern, we've done this before. We've talked about this before, where there has been a situation where, hey, wait a minute, that teacher knew about this. How come that teacher wasn't let go? When do we actually protect the kids?
Exactly. That is my exact point.
That's that
and
system.
They're too worried about litigation. You know what? Let it go to court.
Yeah. Yeah.
But instead, he's going to have a special job paying $200,000 a year to be a principal on assignment. Wow.
Reminds me of the last police chief before Chief Barnes. Remember, he was on assignment. Same thing.
Exactly.
About the exact same thing.
That's exactly.
Special assignment.
Yes, exactly. It's like it's a CYA thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else you got?
Well, the Protect Women's sports movement is now causing scenes at women's sporting events. Case in point, former NBA player, how do you say his name? Sorry.
Enes Kanter Freedom.
Enes Kanter Freedom.
Yeah.
Well, he was kicked out of Sunday's Fever Sky game after getting into it with Chicago guard Natasha Cloud. So Kanter Freedom was sitting courtside. He was wearing a shirt that defined a woman as an adult human female. Obviously there to make sure that people see him right there with the shirt. And during a timeout, Natasha Cloud walked toward him yelling. And then he got up, stepped toward the court, threw his arms out, and mocked her before security escorted him out. Now, Natasha Cloud later said that trans people will always be protected by me. Kanter Freedom says he was thrown out for, quote unquote, supporting women.
Right. I just want to, there's many ways to do this. Last night, Ursula, when it happened, a lot of people online, everybody's been talking about it. And I just sat there and I didn't weigh any in on it at all. But I wanted to just sit back in this and I'm just like, wow, what is going on? What is going on that this topic right here continues to be the top story that's going on? Where we're talking about where 99% of people, we're talking about the 1% of those that are trans in these situations. And how did we get here? How did we get here where Enes, who in this situation shows up to a WNBA game, right? And he's going back and forth with a woman, right? And he's in this situation, they're going back and forth, and he gets kicked out of the game. And where I pause at, and I'm just saying, listen, it doesn't matter where you feel on this topic of whether or not you believe that boys should play in girls' sport. I think I was very clear on Friday. I agree. I don't think boys should play in girls' sports, but I don't want to make it about that. It doesn't matter where your opinion is on that. You guys are okay with a grown man like that? Like, I thought we were protecting women. We're protecting women. And
exactly.
The man, like, I don't know about you all, but I remember growing up learning very valuable, hard lessons from my dad and my parents. You don't put your hands on a woman. You don't confront a woman. These are the things you don't do. And now we're seeing it. We're seeing taunting of women, but yet the idea is to protect women. So I'll just say like this. The hate for profit that continues is wild to me. It is continuing every single day. Also a distraction for what's going on in this country. We've been in conflict with Iran for 6 months now. Folks came by groceries, gas prices through the roof, right? Health insurance, people across the country losing health insurance, jobs, layoffs, right? Affordability. We have so many things that are happening, but this is the conversation right here. So I think we have gotten so accustomed, and this is the blessing about doing our show. The blessing about doing our show, Ursula, is this. I can honestly say I have learned a lot. I have learned the power in extremes. I have learned that there is some type of agenda where they want to keep us fighting about stuff that we're really not fighting about. Have you ever been in a situation, Ursula, you and I have done it, where we end up arguing about something, but we're really not disagreeing, but somehow we are arguing.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening right now. It blows my mind.
Well, I think you brought up a couple of great points. One is this movement that says it wants to protect women's sports is actually starting to hijack women's sports, because this was just the latest incident, but there are other incidents that are happening.
Yeah.
Somehow trans athletes have become this national obsession. One of the biggest issues in this country, even though you and I have pointed out that they represent a tiny fraction of female athletes. And again, you and I are on the same page. We do not believe athletes born male should compete against girls. I mean, there's just a rare exception where the physicality doesn't play a role in that. That's a legitimate debate, but how this has become the number one national obsession. I mean, and it's just the latest, because think about it. When it was, what was the name of it? Anyway, DEI, and then there was also the
critical race theory.
Critical race theory. That's the one. I was like,
Remember the huge thing that was so important? I can't remember what it was.
Yes, exactly. Because it's gone now. When was the last time we've talked about critical race theory?
Caravan.
Is it still an issue?
You ever seen New Jack City, Ursula?
No.
In the movie New Jack City, there was the guy, the top dude, his name was Nino Brown. And so Nino Brown ran the Carter. And the Carter had they had the stuff where the fiends out there was coming at her. You got some more of that? You got some more of that, right? And so Nino Brown became this big time. He's making so much money selling this stuff that nobody had, right? So they come to the Carter to get this stuff. That's what's happening. You got these grifters out here that ain't nothing but Nino Browns. Ain't nothing but selling hate out here. And so they show up to the Carter. And you show up to the Carter, what you got? What you got? Yo, I got that hate for sale. Yo, I got that hate for sale. Get you all you need. These grifters. And you know what's crazy about these grifters? The ones that say they about protecting the women. Man, they protect women so much, they be silent on the Epstein stuff. Mm-hmm. Why they so silent about that? Because these grifters got hate for profit. That's what they do.
Yeah. And the people right now who are paying the steepest price are trans people who've never stepped onto a playing field. I mean, that's the truth.
Whoa. So
repeat that.
Repeat that. Repeat that.
So the people who are paying the steepest price right now are trans people who have never stepped onto a playing field, have no intention of playing sports competitively, but they're paying the price for all this that's going into it right now.
It took
Sadly.
so long to say that one, Ursula. Good Lord. That was damn good.
Okay, I'm going to move on. Because this next one is a head scratcher, G.
Come on.
Seattle's interim police chief filed a potentially career-ending misconduct complaint against a veteran detective over a speech that he had personally given her permission to make. Publicola reports that Andre Sales accused Detective Beth Waring of insubordination and dishonesty after she spoke against two initiatives affecting LGBTQ students at a rally last November. Here's an excerpt.
My name is Elizabeth Waring, and I'm coming to you as a police detective with nearly 30 years of experience. I am deeply concerned about the effects of proposed initiatives 26001 and 26638. I worked 9 years investigating hate crime and bias incidents, and many other years investigating crimes against children, sexual assault, and domestic violence. Proposed Initiative 638 would force girls to prove their sex before participating in sports, including being compelled to expose their genitals to an adult if they don't have other documentation.
And she went on to say this, too, during that speech.
I know from experience that school is often a safe haven from a difficult or dangerous living situation. This initiative makes no exceptions for circumstances where there's a history of abuse in the family.
So here's the kicker to all this. According to the investigation file, Sales acknowledged that he hadn't even read the initiatives before accusing her of lying about them. OPA quickly dismissed the complaint. Investigators found that, again, she had followed his instructions, had permission to speak in her personal capacity, and her political speech was protected. But one memo warned that investigating her further could even violate her constitutional rights and then would expose the city to a lawsuit. But Waring says that this whole thing helped convince her to retire after 29 years with SPD. And then there's another head scratcher. Publicola reports that Mayor Katie Wilson knew about this complaint and its dismissal before naming Andre Sales as the interim chief.
Chef told me about this story this morning, Ursula. And so when he was telling me, like the rhythm, I've known Chef a long time. I understand where he's going with stuff. And then when he got to like the closing part, the end of it, Ursula, I said, huh? I didn't, what? And the reason why I said what, and then I dug into the story, and like you just mentioned right there, is he actually admitted to the investigators, Interim Chief Sales admitted to the investigators that he hadn't even read the 2 initiatives that he accused Waring of lying about. I just want to stop right there. The story is almost so unbelievable that I wish that we could actually talk to and speak to Interim Chief Sales about this.
Yeah.
Like,
he's invited, by the way.
Right,
he's invited.
Right. Like, and by the way, this isn't even a conversation of whether or not you support the LGBTQ community or not. By the way, I do. Anyway, but it doesn't matter if you do or you don't. This matters about if you accuse one of your own detectives of dishonesty and then in the next breath say you didn't read the whole thing.
Didn't even do the basic homework. Yeah. And by the way, she's no rookie. She was with the department for nearly 30 years. She actually once led SPD's hate crimes unit. She worked as a hostage negotiator, bias crimes expert, clinical counselor. I mean, what he accused her of could have threatened her job and her police certification. And, okay, I'm just going to say this. I was initially optimistic about Andre Sales as a possible permanent police chief, but that optimism is gone. And this is just the latest story regarding him. Because initially I'd heard he's very popular with the officers. And with a department that has had a lack of stability, it was like, oh, maybe there could be someone who comes in and is stable and brings them what they need. But, man, this one is a real head scratcher for me. And between this and whether he would actually be here for the long term, given his living situation.
Yeah. Ursula.
Yeah.
Listen, when I was downstairs, I read through it, and then I said, I need to read through this again.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I'm something I'm missing.
Yes.
And then the only thing I can come up with is this. I would really love to talk to interim chief, and I would love to ask, like this can't be the end of the story. Like,
yes.
Wait, huh?
Well, I'm just wondering if he was, because he was actually mentioning.
And by the way, this happened in December of last year.
So again, the mayor knew about this and still appointed him interim chief. Huh?
Well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we invite him.
Mm-hmm.
Chief, if you're listening, you're invited.
We'd love
we want to hear from
you.
you.
Hey, coming up next here on the show at 9:47, the secret to an orderly home is dirty zones. And what does that have to do with the city of Seattle? Oh, you know I'm going to make that happen. But coming up next, should Washington require insurance companies to cover IVF? We've talked about Ozempic. That's not mandatory either. So let's have this discussion next. Gee and Ursula.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Jason Rance here. If your water heater is getting older, leaking, or running out of hot water, CM Heating has an affordable solution. Get a new gas or electric water heater installed starting at just $44.99 a month. With CM Heating's Comfort as a Service program, you'll get lifetime repairs and maintenance at no extra charge. Parts and labor covered for life. Plus, same-day installation is available in many cases. Schedule your free estimate today at cmheating.com.
License number CMHEAHL 750LP.
Is your car's AC blowing warm air? Don't sweat it. Bucky's Complete Auto Care is here to help. This is Sully. Right now, you'll save $50 on any AC service. Whether it's a weekend getaway or the daily commute, you deserve a cool, comfortable ride. For over 50 years, local drivers have trusted Bucky's for honest pricing, expert repairs, and guaranteed work, earning them the Carfax Preferred status. 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, easy financing. For $50 off your cooling system service, visit Bucky's.com.
I'm not one to say I told you so, but I switched to Pure Talk over a year ago, and ever since, I've been telling people there's no better wireless company out there. Well, a few months ago, a massive survey was conducted. 123,000 people were asked to rate their wireless carrier in 4 categories: coverage, support, data, and overall value. Well, the results are in. Guess which wireless company was the only wireless company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. 5 stars, every category. To celebrate, Pure Talk is offering the first 3 months of any plan for just $15 a month, including their top-tier unlimited plan. No contract, no commitment, just a very inexpensive way to test drive the only American wireless company with 5 stars in every category. Just dial pound 250, say micro, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service will take it from there. Again, pound 250 micro. And yes, I told you so.
I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
Half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repair, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-list member, you're covered.
And payments?
To fit your budget with approved credit, of course.
And I'm hot again.
Worry-free.
That's for me.
We're on our way.
Thanks for making it hot.
We're ApolloPlumbing.com.
When you see this in your kitchen,
the stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
You hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves, or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-572-3344. That's 800-572-3344.
It's the Great Summer Sellathon at the Spa Warehouse, and the deals are incredible. When the leaves turn and the temps fall, imagine sinking into your very own saltwater caldera spa. Bubbly, blissful warm water right in your own backyard. Our Summer Sellathon means massive savings on in-stock models, so owning your dream hot tub is more affordable than ever. Plus, get interest-free financing through 2028. Visit today for the hot tub of your dreams. Your best life starts at the Spa Warehouse.
Looking for a simple solution to hair loss this summer? Get the same breakthrough one-day treatment I received at Advanced Hair during their once yearly summer savings event. Your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day, and Advanced Hair guarantees it will grow. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during their best offer of the year. For details and a free consultation, call 425-449-8185, advancedhair.com.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. In Nevada, more than 40,000 people have been forced to leave their homes threatened by a fast-moving, out-of-control brush fire outside Reno. ABC's Melissa Adden is in Reno with the latest.
Officials saying the Hawk fire may have been purposely set. An investigation is underway. Flames burning close to the city's densely populated foothills. Neighborhoods left looking apocalyptic, buildings reduced to rubble.
Tons and tons of children.
Families filling up shelters, one little girl still wearing her cheerleading uniform.
The fire sweeping over our head, and so we're like, we got to get out of here.
Jason Davis telling us how he made it out.
In Washington, fire crews are hoping to breathe a little easier today on the coal wash fire after making progress Sunday. KIRO News Radio's Tim Hull has the latest.
The 39,000-acre fire near Mabton is now 8% contained. All Level 3 evacuation orders have been lowered to Level 2. Information Officer Jody Walker says crews are trying to tighten fire lines today.
The winds have died down a little bit. The temperatures are a little bit more moderate. So we're hoping that continues through the day and into the night.
One home and 2 outbuildings have been destroyed. No injuries reported. Coal Wash is one of 12 large fires burning in Washington during one of the state's worst fire seasons on record. Tim Hull, KIRO News Radio.
Seattle-based Zillow is changing its deal with Redfin. Zillow just settled an antitrust case with federal regulators and several states, including Washington. Zillow paid Redfin $100 million to leave apartment rental listing business. Now Redfin will have to restart that service. The FTC says the deal could have harmed competition and raise concerns about higher costs for renters and landlords. Meanwhile, new tariffs on Canadian imports are raising concerns in Washington border communities. A 50% tariff on $20 billion worth of Canadian imports took effect on Saturday. Businesses in Whatcom County say they're worried higher costs could hurt trade and keep Canadian shoppers away. One local business owner tells KIRO 7 TV,
"We're on the border, and Canada has always been, I think, a friend to the U.S. So in that aspect, it does sadden me."
The new tariffs are adding uncertainty for communities whose economies depend on cross-border traffic. Now for your transit update. In downtown Seattle, 2 left lanes are still blocked on northbound I-5 at Olive Way. Crews are making progress, though, but continue to expect delays. Other drive times right now, Renton to Bellevue holding steady at about 35 minutes. Over on the north end, it's about an hour and 15 minutes from Everett to Seattle and about an hour from Everett to Bellevue. For your forecast, sunshine today with highs in the 70s and 80s. Look out for haze this afternoon, 80s and 90s tomorrow, then cooler the rest of the week. We could see some showers by Thursday. Right now, it's about 62 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
back to the Gee and Ursula Show. On this show, we like to cover some difficult topics, a lot of things that you wouldn't normally hear on other radio shows, but hey, we do it because we're happy to stumble through it. And I think this is going to be one of those. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line is 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Okay, so for many couples in our state, the price of having a baby now rivals the down payment of a new home. It's no surprise that it's very expensive. And the Seattle Times reports there is a Bothell couple who spent nearly $64,000, ended up draining their savings, and they actually had to start a GoFundMe before welcoming in their daughter this month. One round of IVF can cost more than $30,000, and many families need more than one time of doing it. But most insurance plans in Washington do not cover fertility treatment. Half of U.S. states do require coverage of some or all of the following. So listen to this. IVF, like fertility preservation, including egg freezing, hormone testing, fertility medications, and treatments other than IVF. Washington does not require any of those. And while lawmakers have tried to pass a mandate during the past 3 legislative sessions, those efforts have all failed. Yeah. So the question is basically, should this be covered by insurance?
This is, Ursula, you made me worried coming into this topic. Like, this is going to be a hard one. This is very easy. Absolutely should be covered. You know what's interesting is that we spend so much time and we say people aren't having kids anymore. We want people to build their families and have children. That's what we want. It's been talked about locally, nationally. We want people to build families and have kids. But when it comes to medical help to do exactly just that, nah, you on your own. Good luck with that. You have to go pull out $20,000, go do a GoFundMe. You see what I'm saying? Like, the same way last week, Ursula, we talked about Ozempic. I would go IVF first over Ozempic if we had to rank the two of importance. Yes, this is easy for me. Again, we talk about all the time how people aren't having kids and how we want families and building families. And yet when it comes to medical help, to help that out, you're like, nah, you're on your own. Where you at on this, Ursula?
Okay, the reason I said it was kind of difficult is because on the one hand, I feel like absolutely everybody who wants to have a child should be able to have a child, even if it means that you do things like IVF or you go through adoption. Or, I have loved having children, and I would love for anyone who wants that opportunity to have the same opportunity. I also understand that it's an incredible expense. And unless that expense goes down, I think that requiring insurance plans or requiring companies to cover those insurance plans, I commend companies that do it. But it comes at an expense, and that's like a great benefit to have to work for a company. I don't know if they still do, but I know that at one point Microsoft did, because a friend of mine told me that what she went through and it was covered by their insurance. And I think that was a wonderful thing, and it made for that opportunity. But I mean, what ends up happening if you do cover that? I mean, the reason why we talked about Ozempic and these GLP-1 medications not being covered by all insurance, because it drives the cost of insurance up. And then it's like, okay, well, where are we going to cut elsewhere? So if that makes sense, and it sounds like an Ursula kind of answer, but on the one hand, I think, man, yeah, I would love for insurance companies to cover that. I was trying to do a little bit of research to find out, well, what would it mean? What would it look like?
I mean, some of these things are like $20,000, right?
$30,000.
$30,000?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's like one time.
Okay, so
that's when if you might need more than that.
You know what? Since we want to, if there is a situation or there is a world where we start to say, hey, those wanting a family, that's kind of too much money, $30,000. All right. Now imagine this. Imagine another world where we have people take physicals before they jump and get a job and jump on a healthcare plan, right? And they take the physical, and then the physical says, this is a risk if you hire this person because it looks like the medical expenses might be jumping up there.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is where it's easy for me is I think that we as a people need to help people out that are trying to build a family. I think 20, 30,000 is relatively small amount of money when it comes to a family being able to build a family.
So what I like, though, I mean, and I think a good conversation, and I totally hear you, and I agree, but I'm also saying there is a state analysis that says it could add between $1 and $5 per member to monthly premiums, although insurers are saying it would be a much higher cost than that. I think insurance companies are making ridiculous amounts of money. That's a sweeping statement. Yeah. Not all, but again, I will go back to what some other states are doing, and I think that Washington should at least cover some of those treatments. Right. Absolutely. And again, I think what insurers are projecting, I think is going to be overinflated, and I think what the state is projecting is going to be underrepresented.
How about this? Can we kind of agree a little bit that, again, I said this when we had the Ozempic conversation.
Yes.
That these topics like this, these are, I think, topics that we kind of pick and choose which one we are for or against. Because at the end of the day, it's going to be more money, right? But we decide like, okay, well, I like that one or I don't like that one. And then we make that decision on that one. I look at Ozempic and the whole IVF. If anything, I said I rank IVF being more important than the Ozempic, but I believe that they're both important. They're important for the IVF to build a family, and the Ozempic, they're important because there are people who, hey, you know what, G? Quality of life, I've actually lost 155 pounds. I'm going to be here longer for my family. I'm going to be able to be a better employee. Like, there's all kinds of advantages. Let's use insurance.
I agree. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line 888-973-5476 888-9073 KIRO. One of the arguments for people who are saying yes, it should be covered is that the current system makes parenthood largely dependent on wealth or where you work, and that is true. So, like I said, I have mixed feelings about this. I could argue either way. Ultimately, my bottom line is I would want anyone who wants to have a child be able to have a child.
All right. Hey, in the 10 o'clock hour, we got a lot to talk about. We talk about ICE agents. Also talk about where the state of Washington ranks among the top 10 highest share of summer drunk driving crashes. But up next, the secret to an orderly home. What do you think that secret is? Do you have a dirty zone in your house? If so, text in. Where is your dirty zone? We'll talk about that next. Gee Ursula.
For 250 years, Americans have believed in one powerful idea, that we are meant to live free to work hard, free to move, free to enjoy life without being held back. But if the natural effects of aging are slowing you down, it might be time to declare your independence from aging. John Curley here. Longevity Medical Clinic has been treating the undesirable effects of aging for nearly 30 years. They have more clinical experience with actual patient care than any longevity practice in the country. I've been a patient for 17 years. Wow, time flies when you got a lot of energy. I don't know where I'd be today without longevity. Longevity Medical Clinic was started so people can get back to living life on their own terms, walking, working, exercising, and enjoying the moments that matter most. This year, as we celebrate 250 years of American independence, take a stand for your own freedom. Get your free health analysis at Longevity Medical Clinic. Find out more at lmclinic.com.
Summertime means sunshine, baseball games, beach trips, hiking, sandwiches at the summit. So don't let your bank stop you from having fun. Free checking at WaFd Bank is the way to go. There are no minimum balances or monthly maintenance fees to worry about. Plus, you'll get spending tools and the latest technology to help you stick to your budget. Not only is WaFd Bank a best bank, we have more than 200 branches to serve you across 9 western states, so you have access us wherever you are. Visit WaFdBank.com to open your account. Non-sufficient funds charges may apply. Member FDIC.
Are you looking to buy a house, but like everyone, you're priced out of the Bellevue, Kirkland, and Seattle market? Many buyers have the income, the credit, and the desire to own, but simply don't have the down payment, often at least $75,000 just for a starter home. Hi, I'm Scott Rerucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue, with a great opportunity for home buyers. Introducing our Legacy Opportunity Loan. Legacy Group Capital has a select group of 100 new construction, single-family, and townhomes in the top Western Washington locations. Acquire a new construction home with no down payment, allowable closing costs paid, and a competitive rate. Yes, that's no down payment and some closing costs paid by Legacy. A wise man once said, the hardest part of winning in real estate is just getting in. And now you can with our Legacy Opportunity Loan. So get in the game.
Limited properties available to qualified Washington borrowers. Learn more about this limited opportunity at LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital LLC at MLS ID 99045. Visit LegacyG.com for additional program details.
Motorcycle accident cases require a thorough investigation by a team of experienced legal professionals if they have any chance of being successful. Insurance companies, juries, and even the police tend to assume the worst about motorcycle riders. Get help from an experienced team of attorneys that have successfully resolved hundreds of motorcycle accident cases over the past 30 years. Call Davis Law Group for a free legal consultation or get my free book on motorcycle accidents at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com. That's Davis Law Group, better service and even better results.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
Hey, how's your money situation? Are you ready for retirement? Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply and retire like royalty, then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Liebarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
We beat box stores in design, selection, and price. Sound Kitchen & Bath's new signature cabinets come in stunning colors, stains, and styles at unbeatable prices. Why settle for box store design when you could have a gorgeous custom kitchen or bath from Sound Kitchen & Bath? We create one-of-a-kind spaces that are timeless. Great value from a team that cares. Call today. Sound Kitchen & Bath, soundkitchenandbath.com.
Hello, sweltering Seattle. John Curley here. Is your home staying cool? Are you losing sleep because it's just too hot? At Home Comfort Alliance, the goal is not to sell you a new system. It's to fix the one that you have. Repair first, replace only if it truly makes sense, saving you time and money. If your system's done, a heat pump gives you both cooling and heating for year-round comfort. Get real pricing in 60 seconds at HomeComfortAlliance.com. Call the comfort people. Home Comfort Alliance.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Hey, good morning to you too, Nick. Nick, how you doing, bro?
Doing well, man. Doing well.
Good. So have you established what themes we're doing this week?
That's still on the air, but end of the week, we'll get some themes going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, brother. All right. The secret to keeping your house clean may be giving yourself permission to keep one part of your house dirty, or as my mama would say, nasty. Nah, there's a difference between dirty and nasty. But anyway,
yes,
the Washington Post says every home needs a designated dirty zone where shoes, bags, sports gear, pet toys, Amazon boxes can land without taking over the kitchen counter or dining room table. Interior design experts tell the Post You don't need a multi-million-dollar home with dedicated mudrooms. You can start with simple solutions. Baskets near your entry door for keys, mail, and whatever comes out of your pockets or purse. You can have benches with hidden storage where to transition in or out of the home, or even a whole clutter cabinet. The key is to put the storage where people naturally drop off their stuff and keep the system enough that they actually use it. Ursula, your thoughts?
I 1,000% agree. In my own home, I at least on the surface need to see clutter-free everything. Like if I walk in and I see clutter right as I walk in the door, it just makes me start, like skin starts to crawl. I don't like it when there are dishes left hanging around. And so everything I see on the surface needs to look orderly. Otherwise, I feel like I'm discombobulated.
Yeah.
Now, there is a room in the house.
Right.
Actually, there's two.
Right.
One is the laundry room, and I still try to keep the laundry under control, but there's just a lot of storage that goes in there.
Right.
And also our little study room downstairs, which is like the home for everything that doesn't have a home.
Right.
So there's just mismatched furniture, and there are books that are not in any kind of great order. And I'm okay to keep it there because I just shut the door. I shut the door of the laundry room, shut the door, out of sight, out of mind. And I think it helps keep me sane.
Yeah.
Just like I have to make my bed in the morning before I come to work.
Yeah. That's always the first win of the day, making your bed.
Yep.
First win. Win.
How about you?
Well, Ursula, I can't resist. I can't resist where I'm going with this topic.
I know.
You know where I'm going.
Yes.
Because if everybody's texting in right now, including you, everybody right now is saying that, yes, I have a dirty zone in my house. Now, imagine if I were allowed in your house and I come in your house and I go to your dirty zone and I film it and then I put it on social media, right? And I say, hey, everybody, here is Ursula. This is the house that she says is so pretty. According to the people on the left, they say this place is so pretty, but look at how nasty it is. Now, whoa. Imagine I film your house and I actually get paid from it. Like I actually have people that get on oh my gosh, I can't believe how dirty that house is. Right? So your house with the dirty zones, just think 3rd and Pike. Just think 12th and Jackson. Just think some of these hate-for-profit people, these grifters that go out here and film people at their lowest moment, and they tell people how much good they're doing in the world. So all I'm saying is, yes, I have a dirty zone. My dirty zone, I would say right now, happens to be my wardrobe room right now. It's a little bit of a disaster. But would you believe that I myself have a room or a place in my house that's not so great? It's interesting how people use that as a talking point to degrade a city. But I know there's G all over the place. I apologize. I'm sorry.
We were going to talk about clutter in my home.
My bad.
Okay, I know, but you make a good point because you can hyper focus on one thing and not realize the beauty of the rest.
Right.
Okay, but let me get back to the clutter in the house.
Okay, come on.
Because what is it with our kitchen drawer? I cannot get that thing under control. Like, does everyone have a kitchen drawer that's hard to open because it's just so full?
I'm gonna say this. I got to give credit to Lillian in this department. There is one drawer in our kitchen.
Yes.
That if it were up to me, that thing would be full.
Yeah.
But for some reason,
Yeah.
So it's an organized thing. So now it's to the point,
nice.
Ursula, I see it, and I can't mess. Like the pins are organized, the batteries are organized, the different batteries are in there.
Okay, see, that's
so
a good
I leave it
feeling.
alone. So there's areas of the house that I know I got to leave alone.
Yeah.
So I go to my areas where I can junk it up.
Well, so my problem spots, because if you walk into my home, you're like, you know who came to my home yesterday?
Who did?
Ernie and Kent.
Ernie
and
Kent?
Sandra, yes. Yeah, I had
Ernie, text in. Tell us about the house.
I had a perfume party. We were creating perfume.
Yeah.
So 22 people who came to my house were like, oh, this looks really good. I'm thinking, they're probably thinking, oh, this looks really neat. Just don't look in a few drawers. Don't look in the basement where we have all our storage and homeless items that have now gone into those rooms. It doesn't look so pretty.
Wait a minute. While I'm giving Lillian all this credit, up until Saturday, the pantry. Yeah, the pantry, it wasn't the greatest. So we always had the pantry door closed, but that thing is spotless right now.
Okay, some of us can't help but buy, all the extra condiments. And then they start overflowing,
That's true.
You
Okay, you're free.
You talking about you get the stuff from Taco Bell and all the little
No.
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 You know what I'm saying?
The sauce drawer? The fast food sauce drawer?
Yeah, what's up with that, too? Like, why are those so hard to throw out?
If you have that over the age of 25.
It's time to throw them out when they kind of solid. You can't really,
squeeze anyone.
Now, which drawer is more messy? That one kitchen drawer or the one bedroom drawer next to your bed? Which one is more messy?
Kitchen drawer.
Oh, it's definitely
bedroom.
The drawer next to my bed.
Yeah, that bedroom drawer needs help too, though.
Hey, coming up next here on the Gee Ursula Show, the state of Washington ranks top 10 in something. We'll talk about that. And Boeing right now, guess what? They want some more money. So the employees. We'll talk about that next. Gee Ursula.
Summer is for letting it rip.
Swung on and missed, ripped it right by it. 7 scoreless innings. Marvelous Miller again.
Summer is for showing out.
Swing and a miss. Woo, 6 up and 6 down.
Summer is for Mariners baseball.
Logan Gilbert, he's knocked down a dozen in a row.
So call your favorite Walter and head to T-Mobile Park because our pitchers are rolling. From George Kirby to Senor Smoke.
Up in the attic at 101. Nothing but the express tonight for Andres Munoz.
Matilda would be proud. Mariners baseball. Tridents up.
Don't miss out on another great interleague series at T-Mobile Park. Julio Rodriguez and the Mariners are squaring off against Bryce Harper and the Philadelphia Phillies. Tonight and tomorrow night at 6:40 and Wednesday afternoon at 1:10 with a special midweek matinee. Get your tickets for this marquee matchup at Mariners.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
Truck started slow. Battery might be toast.
Slow starts are the first sign of heat damage to your battery. We'll test it, no charge.
Thanks. And if it is dead?
We'll set you up with a new, fully warranted battery, some up to 5 years, and we'll recycle the old one.
Thanks for the rundown. Lead the way.
Get free battery testing, charging, and recycling at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Sleep Number's new collections are designed to adapt to the changing nature of your life and your sleep needs. Whether it's the personalized comfort of the Comfort Mode mattress, the targeted pressure relief of the Comfort Next mattress, or the Climate Collection that actively cools or warms to help you fall asleep and stay asleep.
And now, all beds are on sale during our biggest sale of the year. Save 25% on the new Comfort Next Luxe, plus free delivery on any mattress. Ends Monday, only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual-active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaids spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me.
watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon?
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The U.S. and Canada on the verge of a trade war, Canada vowing to retaliate with tariffs on U.S. goods starting in September. That after the 50% U.S. tariffs on Canadian goods kicked in Saturday. Now President Trump says those tariffs will double starting in January. ABC's Karen Hua says that's creating cracks within his own party.
Trump's trade policies appear to be rattling Republicans just 10 weeks before the midterm elections. Maine Senator Susan Collins, breaking with Trump on the tariffs, is not expected to appear with Vice President J.D. Vance when he visits Maine today. And at least 8 Republican senators from farm states are now publicly opposing Trump's plan to lower tariffs on imported beef.
The Trump administration says it is economic D-Day for Iran, threatening additional steep sanctions against Iran if they don't reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Fire crews in Nevada racing to get a handle on the Hawk fire that erupted over the weekend northwest of Reno. The fast-moving blaze triggering evacuations. This is ABC News. Nearly 25 years after 9/11, a victim of the World Trade Center attack has been identified using genetic genealogy.
The newly identified victim is an adult woman. Her family has chosen to stay private. She's one of nearly 1,100 victims who have never been formally identified. The medical examiner's office has vowed all along never to give up, trying to identify as many of them as possible.
ABC's Rena Roy. Officials say 47 more victim profiles are good candidates for being identified using the same technology. In Texas, disasters from extreme flooding 2 years in a row, eliciting vastly different responses from the public.
After the disaster of 2025, the deaths of more than 130 people, including dozens of children.
We received significant donations very early on.
In this year's flood, says Austin Dixon of the Community Foundation of the Texas Hill Country, the number of casualties has been mercifully low.
ABC's Jim Ryan, Michelle Franzen, ABC News. The suspect in a 5-person Oregon homicide was found dead by suicide in Enumclaw yesterday. But first, KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. In downtown Seattle, all lanes are open on northbound I-5. This is at Olive Way. The collision has finally cleared. Other drive time right now, Everett to Seattle, about 47 minutes. Linwood to Bellevue, 38 minutes. Linwood to Renton, almost an hour. Over on southbound 405 from Bellevue to Renton, pretty clear. It's about 20 minutes. This traffic report is brought to you by Wilcox Farms. For a convenient, healthy snack on the go, look for ready-to-eat Wilcox hard-boiled eggs. Find Wilcox eggs at Costco, Metro Market, Safeway, and other local grocers.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. Block cameras helped Enumclaw police track down the suspect in a 5-person Oregon homicide. The story from KIRO News Radio's Tim Hull.
Enumclaw police had been tipped that 36-year-old Benjamin Charles Parker might be headed their way. Sergeant Josh Bryan says officers checked the city's flock cameras, and there he was late Saturday.
We saw that he had hit a couple of our flock cameras last night. Nothing today.
On Sunday, police found Parker dead by suicide in his pickup behind the Safeway on Roosevelt Avenue. Investigators still haven't said why he ended up in Enumclaw. Parker is suspected of killing 5 people near Forest Grove, Oregon, outside Portland. Investigators say Parker knew the victims. A motive remains unknown. Tim Hull, KIRO News Radio.
More than 50 wildfires broke out across Washington and Oregon this weekend, sparked by a barrage of lightning. The Northwest Interagency Coordination Center says nearly 700 lightning strikes were reported in Washington on Saturday alone, with another nearly 200 in Oregon. The biggest fire is the coal wash fire in Yakima and Benton counties. It started as a 25-acre brush fire Saturday morning and exploded to nearly 39,000 acres by yesterday afternoon. That's more than 60 square miles. Level 3 go now evacuations are in effect for both parts of the county, and at least one home has been destroyed. Gas prices keep on climbing here in Washington. We're feeling more than most. The national average hit $4.05 a gallon today. That's a record for late this year, according to Gas Buddy. But across Washington state, drivers are paying more than $5 a gallon. Gas Buddy analyst Patrick DeHaan says it's not just the conflict with Iran that's driving the prices up. Ukraine continues attacking Russian oil refineries.
Russia is a significant refiner. It has capacity to turn that oil into products like diesel, jet fuel, and gasoline. But increasingly, Russia is not able to export product. It's even having to import product because refining capacity has been attacked.
And that's pushing up the cost of gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel. The Trump administration approved an early switch to winter blend gasoline about 2.5 weeks ahead of schedule. The cheaper fuel could bring some relief at the pump. Now for your forecast, sunshine today with highs in the 70s and 80s. Look out for haze this afternoon. It's even hotter tomorrow with highs in the 80s and 90s, and we could see some showers by Thursday. Right now, it's about 64 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, Ursula, in the 9 o'clock hour, I see a text from Lynn and Ballard. She says, I disagree with G, saying weight loss treatments aren't necessary, though. And she says being overweight directly affects your health. Did I say that?
No, I don't remember you saying that.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yes.
I don't remember me saying that either.
Yes.
But sometimes I'm getting old. So,
because I think that you were also saying that Ozempic should be covered by insurance last week.
I mean, I think I did, and I think I repeated that today.
Yes.
So just want to make sure.
Yes.
Hey, what we got today? What's going on?
Well, coming up at 10:30, so there is a situation where a parent is defending their decision to forego the kid's college fund and instead pour thousands of dollars into her cheerleading. The competitive cheerleading. Have you seen what happens with the competitive cheerleading? I mean, that is first of all a very intensive sport. Also can be very expensive. So this parent is saying, hey, I poured money into that. I don't feel bad about not putting any money into her college fund. So we'll talk about that coming up at 10:30. As always, we invite you to join us on the Muckleshoot Casino and Resort text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO.
What's new at 10?
So our top story this hour is that Boeing could be staring down another major strike, and this is interesting because the union's own negotiating team thought it had a pretty good deal. KIRO 7 is reporting that members of SPIA, representing about 17,000 Boeing engineers and technical workers, rejected Boeing's contract offer and authorized a strike if negotiations fail. And now this proposal that they had on the table that, again, the negotiating team thought was good, would have increased average pay for engineers by nearly 30% over 4 years, would have added 3 paid days off, would have reduced mandatory overtime, and would have allowed for more virtual work. Mm-hmm. But members say this is not just about money. They don't trust Boeing management. They say engineering decisions are being overruled, quality is losing out to production schedules, and Boeing continues moving jobs out of Washington. Earlier this year, if you don't recall, Boeing announced plans to move as many as 300 engineering jobs to South Carolina. So their current contract expires on October 6th, and this strike, if it happens, could begin on October 7th.
Go get your money. Go get it all. You know, on this show and in Seattle, you know what we always talk about? We always talk about the CEOs and what they're worth. We always talk about the executives and how much pay they get. We always talk about the shareholders and what they get. You know who we don't really talk about? The people that make Boeing go. Because without the people in the trenches, there are no planes. So that skill set, watch this, is actually more important than all of these executives and CEO. You can't have a plane without the workers. Now, one of the things I've come to learn, and no matter what, somebody told me one time that Boeing is fail-proof. They say no matter what type of thing that happens in the news, Boeing is fail-proof. Why is Boeing fail-proof? Because of the people in the trenches. So, 30%, go get your money. I hope you get it.
Well, they're already being offered the 30% over 4 years, and the negotiating team said that was good, but they're saying, no, that's not good enough, and we want other things in this contract. Now, I know a few people, and I would love to hear from people who are involved in this because I know they listen. Text us, 888-973-5476. But a few people I've spoken with who are affected by this said, one of the things that they're realizing as the SPIA union is, or SPIA members, is that the machinists go on strike and they get more, and a lot of machinists are now making even more than engineers. That was one thing that was brought up to me, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. Now, if it's all about feeling like they can't trust management, then what are we talking about? I'm looking at this saying your own negotiating team thinks it looks pretty good. Read the room. There's a lot of things going on. I don't know how much better it's going to get. I don't know that Boeing is fail-proof. I mean,
whoa, wait. Oh, you don't think Boeing is fail-proof?
Mm-mm.
Seriously, Ursula? Out of all the stories that we've talked about over the last 2-3 years, and Boeing ain't missed a beat?
I see what you're saying, but no, I mean there's even this new documentary that I need to watch, but there's a lot of pressure on Boeing to make changes.
And still, no matter what type of pressure, Mark Lindquist has been suing Boeing all day long. What y'all mean they not fail-proof? Again, I just wanted to say this again. Yeah. We are constantly talking about what the shareholders get. We always talk about what the CEOs get. We always talk about that big bread here. And when it comes to the employees, get your money. The reason why Boeing is what it is today is because of the people in the trenches. When you want to talk about Seahawk game, I'm sorry to go out into the weeds here, but when you want to talk about Seahawk games and the way it goes, when you come to the stadium, there's a vast majority of people that are unseen inside of the stadium. Everybody paying attention to who catching the football and who throwing the football and who making the blocks, but do you see all the other stuff that's going on? You see the custodians in there? You guys see the operation, the way it goes? But it's always crazy how we forget about the people that are in the church. Get your money. Get your money.
Well, this next story could actually directly affect those Boeing workers if they do go on strike. Mm-hmm. Washington has just changed the rules for its new unemployment benefits for striking workers. The state standard reports that starting on Sunday, strikers who want unemployment checks will have to actively look for another job, just like anyone else who gets unemployment. That means doing 3 job search activities every week and documenting them. And in case you're confused, Washington had been waiving that requirement because it considered striking workers still attached to their employer. But the U.S. Department of Labor says that's not allowed under federal law because during a strike, the employer was not the one that initiated the separation. So striking workers can still get up to 6 weeks of unemployment benefits, but now they'll have to job hunt to get them. And with about 17,000 SPIA workers potentially striking Boeing in October, the timing couldn't be more relevant. What do you think about that? Because, again, this is on the federal level versus state.
Yeah. So the state level isn't doing that yet, right? Making them go, I have to go and apply for jobs after the 6 weeks is up. And it's just on the federal level. My understanding
is that if you want those checks, you have to show that you are active. You have to do everything that you would normally have to do because there was a change. So, but this is coming. The pressure is coming from the federal level, not the state level.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I actually agree with it.
Me too. Me too. If you got to keep that check coming, and it might be an inconvenience, But there's not a bigger inconvenience than not having a check coming. So go ahead and do your thing. But wait, I just want to say, were there really complaints about the way things were going at the state level to where the federal level kind of put pressure on our state?
No, this is something that's even been, it's not just the Trump administration.
Mhm.
This is something that's been in the works since the Biden administration.
Okay.
Yeah, so this
I'm
is,
agreeing.
this, yeah. I disagree with the whole idea of basically paying someone unemployment benefits while they choose to go on strike. So I've been on record about that. Probably going to tick off some people, but
so you
yes.
don't
Yeah.
believe if you strike you should not get a check?
Unemployment? No, you are choosing to strike, and I think that this would by doing it, by saying, hey, you're going to still get unemployment benefits up to 6 weeks. That's a disincentive to try to actually work something out, because you know how many people I've heard say, man, this would be great. I'll just get the 6 weeks. I'll just get 6 weeks of unemployment.
I don't know.
How is it going to hurt me?
I don't know if that's actually great. I mean, there's still got to be some worry to you. I mean, I don't know. I have never been on strike, right? But I'll say this. I'd imagine going on strike might be a stress, even if 6 weeks, you gotta have 6 weeks, and then you're thinking, okay, well, what about after that? Like, I would still think that there's some
most people earning paycheck to paycheck, like earning 2/3 of your income is not an easy thing to float.
Oh, I agree. Yeah. But I mean, I just had this conversation with somebody yesterday who said exactly that. Who said, you know what, this would be just some time I could take off, would be, I would still get the benefits, and then I'll worry about, then I'll be, let's get back to the bargaining table.
I just want to say, for me, if your dog, if I'm bringing in 2/3 of my income for about 6 weeks to now I'll be able to make it, but I ain't gonna like it, I'm not gonna be like, ooh, this is relaxing. Let me just sit back and get 2/3 of my pay. Okay.
Yeah, as Robin Puyallup says, if you still get a check, there's less skin in the game, and that's the way I feel. But
you're still getting 2/3.
You are getting 2/3, but 2/3 is better than nothing. 2/3 to basically.
I mean, but okay,
not work.
But okay, wait. Time out. We can't. There's got to be an either or. Are you guys saying? I just want to make sure we're clear.
Yeah,
are you guys are saying that getting 2/3 of your income is a cakewalk? Is that what you guys are saying?
Some of them, not everybody.
Wait,
absolutely. Some people are absolutely saying that.
I do okay, and 2/3 of my income I would not like. I'm gonna tell you, I would rather get 100%. I would rather not be on strike. So this idea.
But wait,
what?
If you didn't have to work, and for 6 weeks for not working, you could still get a paycheck. Yes, some people would choose that.
Who? Whoa. No,
Text us.
People who make a lot of money.
Text us.
Whoa.
Yeah, gee, but you've got different goals right now.
It don't matter what my goals are. I've never in my life wanted to make 2/3 of my income. And I don't know anybody that does. Nick, would you be okay making 2/3 of your income?
Nick is not.
I want the full thing, man.
Yeah, but again, people who are not okay, text us. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line 888-973-5476. The point is, there are some people who would say, you know what, I can do it for 6 weeks. I would like some time off. Okay. Yes, absolutely. Not everybody, but are there people? Yes. And I had a conversation with one of them yesterday. Yeah. Okay, if you're on the roads right now, we are in the middle of the 100 deadliest days of summer. It's probably why you'll see a lot more State Patrol troopers out there on the roads. It is the time of year when crashes happen the most, and we're especially terrible when it comes to drunk driving crashes, because our state ranks in the top 10 for DUI accidents, according to 3 years of data from the National Highway Traffic Safety Commission. We're going to talk about this issue a lot, and it seems like the most viable solution, according to some state lawmakers, is to lower the DUI limit to 0.05. Mm-hmm. Our friend, former state trooper and current state senator, John Lovick is one of those who's been pushing that in Olympia. And while that law hasn't passed yet, It is also the only legal fix in the works, but we're now finding out that there are some folks in Olympia who have other solutions, including one of our new favorites. We had him on the show last week, Representative David Hackney. He has proposed enforcing the laws currently on the books. So right now, as you know, there is a big backlog when it comes to DUI toxicology results. They're taking about 10 months for alcohol or marijuana and nearly 2 years to get back the results when other drugs are involved. So a lot of cases are getting dropped. A lot of cases are getting plea bargained, and it makes everything go further and further behind. So Representative Hackney, along with his GOP colleague, Representative Andrew Barkas, have proposed a bill that would have allowed cities and counties to bypass State Patrol's toxicology backlog by sending DUI blood evidence to private labs, including those out of state, but that bill did not pass.
Are we ever going to just ask why? Why does the alcohol industry have such a strong hold on everything in this? Oh, I know why. The money that gets poured into it, the lobbyists and everything. We can't even get John Lovick's bill of 0.05 to pass, and there's people that disagree. And the reason why I want John Lovick's bill to pass of 0.05, and it's really simple, Ursula. I want to do away with this idea that you can have 2 drinks and drive. There are so many people that's like, hey, I'm just only going to have 2 drinks and then I'm good. I can drive. Or I'm just going to, just one shot of this. No, because that one drink could end your life. That one drink could take away from your family. You have one drink. You go out there, you accidentally hit someone. By the way, lately, I don't know if you guys have noticed this. Have you guys been noticing, if you're driving at night, people darting out in front of you in the street? It's happening a lot. You hit someone, then what? Even if it wasn't your fault, if you have alcohol in your system, what you gonna do? So I just wish and hope, Ursula, one day we can really get to the bottom of this, because people's idea of, well, I have up to 0.08, so I'm good.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I mean, it should just be easy to say, you know what? If I'm the one driving, I'm just not going to drink.
Yeah.
Not even one. It's not that hard. There are other options.
Yes. Just don't drink. All right. Got a lot to talk about on the show. Hey, at 10:47, someone asked, are we going to talk about it? Yes, we're going to talk about it. Did you guys hear about the 49ers owner? We're going to be talking about that, but there's one key detail in the story that really I need to ask your help with. And it said criminal tools. Yeah, we'll talk about that at 10:47. But right now, this person poured thousands into cheerleading instead of their daughter's college fund. And they said they don't regret that choice. What's your thoughts on that? Someone paying for whether it's cheerleading or sports or activities that require travel. Is it smarter to do? Is that a good investment to do that? Or is it a good investment to save for college fund? Do all that next. Gee Ursula.
Dear Ursula, I have a group of friends who have bonded over...
Hi, I'm Ursula Reutin from the Gee and Ursula Show, and I'm launching a new podcast called Ask Ursula. This is your space. Real life, real questions, whether it's about family, friendships, love, and yes, even the fun stuff like travel and finding your signature scent. Hit me up and ask your questions at mynorthwest.com/Ursula. I look forward to connecting with you.
At mynorthwest.com and the Gee and Ursula YouTube channel.
You know, we're just talking about this, how summer right now is the time to celebrate, but also a time where DUI arrests go up. Please be safe and don't make the mistake of drinking and driving. But if you do make that mistake, DUI Heroes is here to help you get your life back in order, to defend you, the person, the human, the traumatizing, stressful that's in your life. So again, if you have 1, 2, do not jump in and drive. That's why they call themselves DUI Heroes, because when odds are stacked against you, you need a hero on your side. Go straight to 1-800-DUI-HERO or DUIHeroes.com.
Hello, sweltering Seattle. John Curley here. Is your home staying cool? Are you losing sleep because it's just too hot? At Home Comfort Alliance, the goal is not to sell you a new system. It's to fix the one that you have. Repair first, replace only if it truly makes sense, saving you time and money. If your system's done, a heat pump gives you both cooling and heating for year-round comfort. Get real pricing in 60 seconds at HomeComfortAlliance.com. Call the comfort people. Home Comfort Alliance.
It's the Great Summer Sell-a-thon at the Spa Warehouse, and the deals are incredible. When the leaves turn and the temps fall, imagine sinking into your very own saltwater caldera spa. Bubbly, blissful, warm water right in your own backyard. Our Summer Sell-a-thon means massive savings on in-stock models, so owning your dream hot tub is more affordable than ever. Plus, get interest-free financing through 2028. Visit today for the hot tub of your dreams. Your best life starts at the Spa Warehouse.
Marvin is a dentist.
I couldn't really do my work in the office as easily. There was some pain moving around, and then sitting was difficult.
Hip arthritis and a labrum tear were making it difficult to do his job and threatening something he loves even more.
Doing some overseas mission work, and that wasn't going to happen if I had to try to sit on a plane for 15 hours to get to where we usually go.
Orthopedic surgeons gave him a few options.
They said, well, you got like 3 choices. You could do surgery, and then he said you could just plan for hip replacement.
But Marvin had already seen another option work firsthand. His wife, Leslie, had multiple stem cell procedures with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine.
I'm pushing my way back into fitness, and that's been great.
Rowing, running, cycling, and planning another mission trip to Africa. So whether it's a hip like I had or a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Hey, I want to introduce you guys to a brand new sponsor to the show. I'm very excited to welcome Phil Mitchell from Sunset Auto Family. Welcome to the show, Phil.
Hey, thanks, Jake. Nice to be here.
It's so great to have you here. I want to jump right into something that you guys offer that is such a benefit to anybody out there looking for a vehicle. You guys have 48-hour used vehicle exchange. Tell me a little bit about how that works.
Well, basically, we want to take the fear out of buying a pre-owned vehicle. So we give you 48 hours. You take the car home, you decide if you like it. And if you like it, you keep it. If you don't, you bring it back, and we try to find you something you do like.
All right, so let's say a scenario. I see something I love. I'm worried that it's not going to be there next time, so I jump on it real fast, and then I get it home to my garage, and it doesn't fit. I can bring it back?
You can bring it back, and we'll find you something that does fit. It just takes all the fear out of it. There's no more guilty feelings. You don't have to be stuck with it for 5 years or 10 years. You bring it back, we find you something that works.
Sunset Kia in Auburn, Sunset Ford, and Sunset Chevrolet in Sumner. You just get more at Sunset, and people do like that.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Looking for a simple solution to hair loss this summer? Get the same breakthrough one-day treatment I received at Advanced Hair during their once-yearly summer savings event. Your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day, and Advanced Hair guarantees it will grow. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during their best offer of the year. For details and a free consultation, call 425-449-8185, advancedhair.com.
Hey, it's Jason Rantz. If your air conditioner is barely hanging on, CM Heating has one of the best offers I've heard this summer. Right now, you can get any size high-efficiency AC system for just $179.99 a month with zero upfront costs. And here's the game changer. CM Heating's Comfort as a Service program includes lifetime repairs, annual maintenance, and even filters at no additional charge ever. Go to cmheating.com and schedule your free estimate online today.
License number CMHEAHL 751LW.
Progressive knows you've never met Channel 6 meteorologist Daniel Hughes, but when he says it'll be sunny, you trust him. After all, he is a weather professional who knows how to use a green screen and probably went to weather school. You never went to weather school, so you hit the farmer's market in your convertible. Turns out Daniel Hughes is not dependable. But Progressive is. So bundle your home and auto insurance and get 24/7 protection and reliable coverage. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-572-3344. That's 800-572-3344.
There are 6 markets you can place your money in. Research suggests it's better to have exposure to all 6 markets. Don't miss a potential opportunity because you didn't strategically diversify your assets. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Request your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing in your portfolio. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. The Trump administration could elaborate on plans to impose even more sanctions on Iran today. President Trump calls it economic D-Day and said it would target those who do business with Iran. More from ABC's Karen Travers at the White House on what Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said about the sanctions.
The big question, of course, will be, is China going to be impacted by this? Because, of course, they're Iran's top trade partner. And for a variety of reasons, we've seen the president not want to go after China in order to put pressure on Iran. Bessent said that the objective of these new sanctions is to, quote, ensure Tehran stands alone, trying to put more pressure on them to end this. Bessent also said that at this point, the war is, quote, entering the end game.
The mother of actress Hayden Panettiere is speaking out in an exclusive interview with ABC News. Panettiere died earlier this month at the age of just 36 in an apartment in South Carolina. Leslie Vogel says she is still processing everything that's happened.
I would say to the haters out there, you don't have a right to tell me how I mourn the loss of my second child. That's my domain.
The investigation into her death is still ongoing. Here in Washington, fire crews are hoping to breathe a little easier today on the coal wash fire after making progress Sunday. KIRO News Radio's Tim Hull has the latest.
The 39,000-acre fire near Mabton is now 8% contained. All Level 3 evacuation orders have been lowered to Level 2. Information Officer Jody Walker says crews are trying to tighten fire lines today.
The winds have died down a little bit. The temperatures are a little bit more moderate, so we're hoping that continues through the day and into the night. 1
home and 2 outbuildings have been destroyed. No injuries reported. Coal Wash is one of 12 large fires burning in Washington during one of the state's worst fire seasons on record. Tim Hull, KIRO News Radio.
Some Maple Valley homeowners say they're running out of options as beaver dams continue to flood their properties. KIRO 7 TV's Madeline Ottley reports.
Michael Upton's Maple Valley lot doesn't look like it used to.
And it's not just water. It's swamp water.
He says the creek that once cut through the property is now backed up by beavers, transforming flowing water into a swamp. According to Washington law, beaver dams can be removed when they threaten private land, but there's nothing in here about requiring a removal. We emailed Washington's Department of Fish and Wildlife to double check. They told me they can't require a landowner remove beavers if they don't want to, and licensed trappers can't trap them on private property without permission.
For your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic, Everett to Seattle about 45 minutes. Linwood to Bellevue holding steady about 38 minutes right now. Linwood to Renton almost 45 minutes. And southbound 405 from Bellevue to Renton, it's about 18 minutes. This traffic report is brought to you by Seattle Sports. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. For your forecast, watch out for haze today. Highs pretty warm in the upper 70s to 80s. Right now, it's about 65 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. Text us. Muckleshoot Casino and Resort text line is 888-973-5476. And here's a question for you. What is a better investment for your kids' future? Filling up their college fund or spending the money on expensive activities like sports in the moment, or in this case that we're going to tell you about, cheerleading? One mom whose cheerleading daughter spoke with Business Insider says she has absolutely no regrets. Katie Barton says her daughter fell in love with gymnastics and cheerleading in third grade, and over the next decade, the family paid for her all-star cheer, all sorts of classes, and private coaching instead of building this big college fund. So her daughter is now an elite cheerleader. She's a high school senior who hopes to cheer while in college, and she has plans to study finance. But the unfortunate reality is she's probably not going to get a scholarship. So she has narrowed her choices to 2 affordable schools, and says she's going to be okay with graduating with some debt. But the mom says cheer gave her daughter confidence, discipline, resilience, and a ton of things that you just cannot put a price tag on.
Yeah. I think that this topic is very subjective. Now, let me go from my end of things. As someone who I didn't have anybody that was going to take care of any type of expenses, so you have a choice. And they should reword this article like this. You have a choice. Would you rather be able to put away money for college and no out-of-town trips or experiences, or out-of-town trips, experiences, and no money for college? Some people would say, you know what? I'm just going to go with the out-of-town experiences for my kid right now and just take a gamble and hope for the lucky stars to be able to get something for college later on. Because not many people have $200,000 to $100,000 just able to put away. In this case right here, I think that there are kids, let's say you are traveling and you're on a basketball team or you're on a football team. Let's just take basketball. Basketball, you were just good enough to be on the team. You made it and made it and made it. But anyway, there were 2 or 3 stars that were on your team that went far. I know of situations where those kids are their managers and publicists, right? You get connections, or you become an agent or a financial person for all kinds of networking. And last but not least, you have an opportunity to leave your city and go out of town and travel to go to places that you never would have. So I think it's subjective. If you're someone that says, no, G, I believe in putting money away for college and that's more important, great. I think that's great for you. And if you think the other way, I think that's great for you. It's subjective.
I agree. There's not a one size fits all for any situation. And in this case, it worked out for her, and she's not worried about having to go to an in-state college or one that is just more affordable because she had all these experiences. The only thing that I would caution against, I guess, after having gone through this whole experience, is I've seen so many parents banking on their kids making it to college level athlete status, right? They're thinking that their kids are going to get some kind of scholarship, and they're pouring all sorts of money into elite this, elite that, all-star this, all-star that, only to find out, yeah, that only goes to a few people and your kid isn't one of them. You know what I'm talking about.
I do, but I don't think it's a lot or it's most. I think you do have those parents out there that believe their baby is going to get a college scholarship, yes, or they're going pro. No doubt you have those. But you also have some that are realistic and yes, understanding, like, yo, yes, this is a great experience, yes, for my child, yes, right? They are getting to go down to Portland or down to L.A. or travel to the Midwest in Chicago. They're getting amazing experiences. Like, I would argue that some kids don't get that opportunity, and they can only travel to these places by book, right? Like books that they read. I'm like, oh, I heard about that place.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that statue right here. It's at this place. So, again, it's subjective. There's a lot of kids that I think if you're someone that's like, hey, what's the big deal of playing all these travel sports? I look back now, and I really have an appreciation for travel sports because it really does take kids out of their element and take them other places, right?
Yes.
And they actually have been, like right now, I wonder if there's someone listening right now that's never traveled outside of the state of Washington.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sure there are. The thing that I would just say is, again, if you go it with a healthy attitude, like this may not mean that they're going to get a scholarship, but this is something that they love, and I'm willing to shell out all that dough. Now, I would argue that you could also still squirrel away some money for a college fund or a future fund, which would always be wise in my book. But Allison from Stillicum says, it totally depends on my child and what their talents and likes are. Both of my children are incredibly different and will have two totally different paths, I'm sure. And that's exactly right. You have to also know your child. What is it that they're going to enjoy more or benefit from more?
I have a question about this because, this is kind of a false binary debate, right? I do have questions, though, about investing so much in one activity for your kid that is inevitably going to end. If you're, a parent of a child who's lucky enough to play in college, it's going to be another 4 years. If they're an average kid like mine, it's going to end generally at the age of 18. And I wonder about pouring all that money into this one part of their identity. Mm-hmm. And you have a kid who's spent every spare moment, from the age of 6 to 18, being like, I'm a ball player. That's what I do. And it limits a lot of what their other activities are. Gee, is that difficult for a lot of kids to move on from that identity when that's been their life?
When they're kids and they don't go past high school, no. And the reason why it's no is because when you're doing that activity, let's just say your parent can only afford one of those sports. And let's say it's only basketball. So you spent your entire time with this travel team and this basketball team, right? If you've done this before, then you know that you are with different families. So you have an opportunity to go and spend a night with different cultures. You have an opportunity to go, oh, this person's dad does this, or this person's mom do this. So you are out of your element and you're seeing different things. Sometimes your family, your parents become friends with those other families. So it's not like when you become part of one basketball team that everything's one basketball dimensional. Like, there's many outlets and many things that can happen and develop from this. What's kind of cool now is seeing kids get married today. Seeing some of these kids get married and seeing other kids that were on their team in those weddings. Mm. Like, you know what I mean? Like, today I am getting to see
the durability of some of those relationships, right? And how they transition over time. And yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
But I think to your point, Chef, that there also has to be caution because I do know, and funny enough, it's a cheerleading mom who I think the one that's taking it the hardest once it's over is the mom.
Ooh.
Oh, no, I
That's
know
a
this.
good point.
I know this for sure because of the investment and the pride and seeing them perform all the time, seeing them have that much joy. And then the kid goes on to college and maybe isn't into cheerleading.
You're saying we ask parents or people a lot, what are you going to do once you retire? But we don't ask so much, what are you going to do once your child goes to college and the sports journey's over?
And you don't have that hyper focus now. Yeah, I think that's a transition too.
Yep. But you got to invest because you can either invest early or you can invest later. And that investment later is a lot more expensive. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Hey, coming up next year on the Gee and Ursula Show, we got to talk, y'all. Have you guys heard about the 49ers owner and what happened to him? Well, he took a trip to Ohio. I'll tell you why next. Gee and Ursula.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Are you looking to buy a house, but like everyone, you're priced out of the Bellevue, Kirkland, and Seattle market? Many buyers have the income, the credit, and the desire to own, but simply don't have the down payment, often at least $75,000 just for a starter home. Hi, I'm Scott Reutin, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue, with a great opportunity for home buyers. Introducing our Legacy Opportunity Loan. Legacy Group Capital has a select group of 100 new construction, single-family, and townhomes in the top Western Washington locations. Acquire a new construction home with no down payment, allowable closing costs paid, and a competitive rate. Yes, that's no down payment and some closing costs paid by Legacy. A wise man once said, the hardest part of winning in real estate is just getting in. And now you can with our Legacy Opportunity Loan. So get in the game.
Limited properties available to qualified Washington borrowers. Learn more about this limited opportunity at LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital, LLC at MLS ID 99045. Visit LegacyG.com for additional program details.
I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
Half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repair, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-list member, you're covered.
And payments?
To fit your budget with approved credit, of course.
And I'm hot again.
Worry-free.
That's for me.
We're on our way.
Thanks for making it hot.
We're ApolloPlumbing.com.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose. And millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
The Mariners are lighting up the sky all summer long with fireworks nights thanks to T-Mobile. Up next is a sing-along show on September 4th after the team takes on the A's. Get your tickets and check out the complete lineup at mariners.com/fireworks.
If your water heater's failing or running out too fast, we've got CM Heating's Comfort as a Service program. Get a new system starting at just $44.99 a month with lifetime repairs and maintenance included. Book your free estimate today at cmheating.com.
License number CMHEAHL 750LP.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon?
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. 49ers owner Jed York was arrested over the weekend in East Palestine, Ohio, initially on suspicion of engaging in prostitution. That charge was later amended to disorderly conduct, and York pleaded no contest to that charge, and another misdemeanor that, to be honest with you, jumped off the page at me. Possessing criminal tools. He got a misdemeanor for that, Ursula. Now, hold on, because when I hear criminal tools, my mind starts going different places. I thought maybe crowbar or lockpicks or Slim Jims or maybe burner phones or something like that. But no, in the state of Ohio, looked it up, criminal tools can basically mean something used with the intent to commit a crime. And in this case, court records show his cell phone was seized and ultimately returned to him. Authorities also seized $160, which was forfeited to the Human Trafficking Task Force. So when you see the headline that the owner of the San Francisco 49ers was convicted of possessing criminal tools, you don't picture really a duffel bag full of burglary equipment. That's what I was thinking. So I guess the alleged situation here involved prostitution. That was alleged initially, but it got pled down to what we're talking about right now. So Jed York, who is the owner of the 49ers, he is 47 years old. I was looking up his wife, Danielle. According to this, it says that she normally stays out of the spotlight. She likes to keep her personal things, her business and family private, and she only likes to come out and support Jed York. Ursula, right now, I know the Seahawks had a rough weekend and they did not win this weekend. Not only did they not win this past weekend, they also lost, unfortunately, some players to injury. They lost Bobo early in the week. Jake Bobo out for the season in a joint practice.
One of our avid listeners is going to be that's her favorite player.
Yeah, Jake Bobo is a great guy. And then the first defensive snap of the game last night against the Tennessee Titans, they lost second-round pick rookie Bud Clark. He broke his ankle during that time. And then they also lost offensive lineman Mason Richmond. He went down. Mike McDonald calling it a major long-term injury. So I always say the best way to judge preseason games are if and when the Seahawks come out healthy. This past week was not a good week for the Seahawks right there. So they lost in a game 19-16. However, in the first half of that game, they looked great. Drew Lock was great. The offense looked good. Defense, everything was rocking. They were doing their thing. And in the second half, it really fell apart. So I'm giving that news to say the Seahawks don't have an owner that's in the situation, the 49ers. Your thoughts, Ursula?
Well, just on the 49ers owner, first of all, this is not the first head coach of an NFL team that seems to have been accused of something similar.
Well, he's the owner.
Excuse me, owner.
Yeah.
Sorry. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Not.
You talk about the Patriots owner?
Yes,
Bob
exactly.
Kraft?
Owners.
Yeah.
Yes, it seems like the owners they got a lot of money and engage in this kind of activity. How stupid can you be? Seriously, when you're at that level, like, do you think you're going to get away with it?
Okay.
Because I'm just wondering why this is not the first time I've heard this headline.
One of the things that we try to do on this show is we try to see all sides of it. And you asked a question. You said, why do they do that? Do you think they're going to get away with it? And I'm going to say, yes, absolutely. What if there's one thing consistent right now in our country, the news headline, yes, they get away with it. The Epstein files, only 2 people have been held accountable for Jeffrey Epstein. Himself, who's no longer here, and his significant other. That's it. All of the people, you mean so the Epstein stuff just happened by itself? Mm-hmm. Yes, they do think they're going to get away with it, Ursula.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
It really is. And I don't even want to put the two stories together because then moving on to the news of the weekend of the Seahawks, now the Seahawks are 0-2 in preseason.
Yeah.
right? Mm-hmm. And have some major losses. And I know we're not supposed to put a whole lot of stake into or weight into the preseason, but it's not. It would be nice if we have 2-0 and no injuries.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. There's one more preseason game coming up, and I'll ask all of you listening right now. Right now, the starters haven't played yet this season. You want to see them play?
The way things are going with injuries? No. I would love it if they could do shock and awe coming up at first game.
Right.
First game and bring the but I'm just hoping that they're ready, I guess.
Yeah.
Gee,
yes, sir.
I just have one question about the Jed York situation. Because you brought up the criminal tools aspect, which seems a little strange.
Yeah.
What's to say my man wasn't packing a Slim Jim and there was some kind of other tool he brought to the situation?
I can only go what court records said that they show that he found a cell phone
Very
that was
large
seized.
tool.
You know what I mean? And ultimately that was returned to him and seized $160. But Ursula, you know what I wonder? You know all these folks that we want to protect women's sports? Oh, one of the... Yeah.
Okay, can I just read a text from someone? Because 206 says, how can you go this long without discussing the Seahawks kicker missing 3 out of 4?
Because I don't want to talk about negative news. Hey, look here. Hey, I did not want to talk about that. I didn't want to talk about Jalen Milroe and that play. No. Because it was preseason and things don't get better.
Uh-oh. She's got a bias.
Yes. Who said that? Thank you. Oh, 206.
Yes.
Yeah, you caught me.
First text
Is
ever.
that his first text ever? Okay.
His or her. We don't even know.
You caught me. I apologize.
Yes.
All right. Ursula, we got a lot to do in the 11 o'clock hour. We'll do agree to disagree in that. And what do you got, Ursula?
Well, we've got one Seattle Storm player who is doing something that maybe she's got the magic when it comes to thawing the Seattle freeze. So we'll talk about that.
All right. Gee and Ursula.
Charlie Harger.
I want to be a watchdog.
From Seattle's Morning News.
Somebody who is not accepting from the government at face value what they're telling you. I might not even be necessarily against a politician, but if I see an issue or a policy that I think are worthy of a conversation, I'm going to bring it up.
Hear Charlie's 7:35 commentary every morning on Seattle's Morning News.
You can watch all of Charlie's commentaries anytime on the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel.
Golden Crest Metals helps investors understand how physical gold and silver can be held inside qualified retirement accounts without pressure or confusion. Our team brings decades of experience in precious metals and retirement planning with a focus on clear education, straightforward pricing, and a process designed to put clients first. Why do investors choose Golden Crest Metals? Experience, transparency, and a client-first approach. Tune into The Gold Show with Kenny Michaels every Saturday at 1 p.m.
It's the best time of the year at Staples, with back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech and more at staples.com/back-to-school.
Join the conversation and text your favorite show on the KIRO News Radio text line at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Hi, I'm Dr. Shelley Flace with today's tip for kids from the American Academy of Pediatrics. The nicotine in e-cigarettes is addictive and can harm brain development. That's why I worry about teens who try e-cigarettes. Many young people use pod-based e-cigarettes like Juul, which have high levels of nicotine. And because teens' brains are still developing, they can quickly become addicted. The tobacco industry uses fruit and candy flavors to attract young people, often turning them into lifelong users. For more, visit healthychildren.org.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
I'm not one to say I told you so, but I switched to Pure Talk over a year ago, and ever since, I've been telling people there's no better wireless company out there. Well, a few months ago, a massive survey was conducted. 123,000 people were asked to rate their wireless carrier in 4 categories: coverage, support, data, and overall value. Well, the results are in. Guess which wireless company was the only wireless company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. 5 stars, every category. To celebrate, Pure Talk is offering the first 3 months of any plan for just $15 a month, including their top-tier unlimited plan. No contract, no commitment, just a very inexpensive way to test drive the only American wireless company with 5 stars in every category. Just dial pound 250, say micro, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service will take it from there. Again, pound 250 micro. And yes, I told you so.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now, or call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The U.S. announcing it's prepared to slap countries with sanctions if it does business with Iran. U.S. Treasury Scott Bessent says there is no gray area in this conflict.
Let there be no ambiguity as to the position of the United States. An economic engagement of any kind with this murderous regime will expose those responsible to the full reach of American power.
Secretary Bessent, though, did not give a deadline for sanctions to start. The U.S. and Canada locked in a back and forth on tariffs. Canada now says it will put tariffs on American goods starting in September after the U.S. imposed 50% hikes on a variety of Canadian imports. Outside Reno, fire crews are on the front lines of a fast-moving blaze. The Hawk Fire in Nevada has scorched 15,000 acres in a matter of days. Communities in Gary, Indiana are still waiting for power to be restored nearly 2 weeks after severe storms. The utility company estimates all power could be back on within the next day. This is ABC News. In Massachusetts, closing arguments set to begin this week in the murder trial of Lindsay Clancy. She's the mother charged in the killing of her 3 children. Defense attorneys argue she suffered from postpartum psychosis. ABC's Peter Harlambo says prosecutors are calling rebuttal witnesses today.
Prosecutors have a lot to sum up here. In total, with these rebuttal witnesses, 74 different witnesses over the course of more than 4 weeks that they're going to have to concisely summarize for all of these jurors. And then also another thing is this charge conference. How is the judge going to instruct the jury on the law in this case? How should they interpret the law, especially considering about how complex this case has become? That jury charge is really going to be critical for this jury to begin their deliberations.
Severe heat continuing in western states. In California's Death Valley National Park, a French tourist died when the car he was in got stuck in the mud, and he set out to walk with his traveling companion. Temperatures reached 116 degrees that day. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Police in Enumclaw found the suspected killer in an Oregon quintuple homicide. But first, KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. On southbound SR 99, just north of Royal Broham, there is a collision partially blocking the right lane. Other drive times right now, Linwood to Seattle is running about 20 minutes compared with an average of 20. Seattle to Linwood is also about 30 minutes, and Everett to Seattle is still a struggle at around 50 minutes. This traffic report is brought to you by Bucky's Complete Auto Care. Is your car AC blowing warm air? Don't sweat it. Save $50 on any AC service at Bucky's. 16 family-owned locations. No appointment needed. Bucky's.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. Block cameras helped Enumclaw police track down the suspect in a 5-person Oregon homicide. The story from KIRO News Radio's Tim Hole.
Enumclaw police had been tipped that 36-year-old Benjamin Charles Parker might be headed their way. Sergeant Josh Bryan says officers checked the city's flock cameras, and there he was late Saturday.
We saw that he had hit a couple of our flock cameras last night. Nothing today.
On Sunday, police found Parker dead by suicide in his pickup behind the Safeway on Roosevelt Avenue. Investigators still haven't said why he ended up in Enumclaw. Parker is suspected of killing 5 people near Forest Grove, Oregon, outside Portland. Investigators say Parker knew the victims. A motive remains unknown. Tim Hole, KIRO News Radio.
Police are investigating a deadly shooting in Linwood. Officers rushed to a gas station in the block along 44th Avenue West just after 11 last night following reports of gunfire. Police found an adult male with multiple gunshot wounds. He died at the scene. Another adult male was taken into custody. A deadly shooting in Olympia is now under investigation after 2 people were killed Friday in what police believe was a shootout.
Police believe some sort of argument broke out between a 20-year-old man and a 17-year-old teenage boy, which quickly led to gunfire. A person off camera told us he heard up to 6 shots.
Olympia Basin Route, West Side Lane Restaurant, 2200 Garfield Street Northwest.
Upon arrival, police say they found the 20-year-old man dead along with multiple shell casings. Police say the 17-year-old who was also shot was taken to a nearby hospital by a witness. That teen later died in the hospital.
That was KIRO 7 TV's Jake Chapman reporting. Seattle-based Zillow is changing its deal with Redfin. Zillow just settled an antitrust case with federal regulators and several states, including Washington. Zillow paid Redfin $100 million to leave the apartment rental listing business. Now, Redfin will have to restart that service. The FTC says the deal could have harmed competition and raised concerns about higher costs for renters and landlords. Tacoma's Soundview squad had their first loss at the Little League World Series. The team from Henderson, Nevada shut them out 5-0 yesterday morning in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Soundview now drops to the elimination bracket. They play tomorrow at noon on ESPN. Now for your forecast, we got lots of sunshine today with highs in the 70s and 80s. We are going to get even hotter tomorrow, close to 90, then cooler the rest of the week, and we could even see some showers by Thursday. Right now, it's about 68 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
All right, you guys caught me in the last segment. Mike and Bothell bust me out and said G didn't even want to talk about the Mariners losing 19-2. I mean, I could also point out the fact that the Mariners won the series against the Chicago Cubs. You know what I mean? Like, come on, Ursula.
Well, as long as we're fessing up.
Yeah.
Can I also fess something?
What you got?
Steve on Mercer Island pointed out that I was making it sound like so many NFL owners are accused of soliciting prostitution, when so far there have been 2. So I want to be clear, at least on record, being accused, there are 2 NFL owners, because there are other crimes that NFL owners have been accused of, but not soliciting prostitution. And so I just wanted to make sure.
Hold me back. I want to say it.
Uh-oh.
No, I can't say it.
No.
Nope.
Okay, good. No, we're choosing joy.
I'm going to choose joy because you're talking about like only 2, right? Like as far as this is concerned, but as far as presidents, it's only been 1.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Muckleshoot Casino and Resort text line is 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. We were hoping to talk to our favorite Little League dad.
Yeah.
We're going to do that tomorrow.
Okay.
So he's going to join us tomorrow. Okay, not only did the Seahawks have a bad weekend, the Mariners had a bad weekend. Our favorite Little League team from Tacoma didn't have a great weekend. But we're choosing joy.
For clarity, like you would do, Ursula.
Yes.
The Mariners had a bad day.
Overall,
they had
That's
a
true.
good weekend.
That's true.
They had a bad day.
They just
and we all have a bad day.
And what happens when was it 19-2?
19-2.
Yeah.
By the way, you know what, since we're on this, since we say everybody has a bad day, what do you do when you have a bad day? Like, when I'm talking about one of those days that you don't try to justify it, you're like, you know what? I'm cooked on this day. What do? You go. Does it involve food? Does it involve
it used
working
to involve
out?
Food.
Yeah.
I know. For you, it's working out.
No, it's not.
Oh.
If I have a bad day, it is not working out.
Okay.
He's reaching for the Biscoff cookies.
I'm going to get some food. All right. What we got?
Okay. Let's go.
Yeah.
Because we've got a lot to talk about.
Top stories at 11.
On the Gee and Ursula Show.
Well, Gee's new favorite city in Western Washington, Bellevue, is spending $700,000 to slow drivers down by 5 miles an hour. So the news is that the city is lowering the speed limit on every neighborhood street from 25 to 20. This reporting comes from the Seattle Times, and they're saying that the crews are going to install 360 new signs and will paint 190 pavement markings beginning today in North Bellevue, and the new limit will take effect on each street once the sign goes up. So if you've been lead-foot around Bellevue, be warned. Bellevue says a pilot program worked even without additional police enforcement. In Eastgate, for example, the number of drivers going faster than 30 dropped by nearly 20%. Neighborhood streets make up nearly 2/3 of Bellevue's road system, so the city is now considering lower speed limits on larger arterial streets as well.
Yeah.
It's only good news.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like, am I in the minority when I said last week, I think everywhere needs to go down by 5 miles per hour for safety reasons.
You did say that.
Am I in a minority on just lowering speed limits in general? Or do you guys think that we don't have a problem?
Based on what I see?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
don't we specifically have a problem here in the state of Washington?
With speeding? Yes.
And pedestrian accidents
Yes.
and e-bikes and all of those
Yes.
things. Like, we have a real problem here. Not saying that they don't have them other places, but we're like in the top in the country all the time. And so this whole speeding thing, Ursula, I think you're with me, aren't you?
I am.
Okay.
I actually am.
No, thanks.
Exactly. I was going to say, you and I might be in the minority because people like Chef, you know, they use their horn a lot if someone is too slow.
Gosh, does he use his horn?
And he would not consider lowering the speed limit by 5 miles per hour.
I think it's ludicrous.
I will say this. In Bellevue, I don't think it's ludicrous because people are always going to go 5 miles per hour over. So if you actually want them to drive 25, put it at 20.
Yes.
And their own program says it worked. The number of drivers going faster than 30 dropped by 20%.
But
did they have a speed monitoring sign there?
What?
Because if there's anything visible, that makes people slow down.
Those are actually very effective, I think.
Yeah.
So, what is? Forget the freeway.
Yeah.
Forget that.
Yeah, neighborhood streets. I'm all for that.
Why would anybody be against a lowering of speed limits in residential streets, knowing how easy it is to hit somebody?
Exactly.
Is that a serious question?
Because people are always in a rush.
You can't frame this in terms of, well, you must be pro-death. If you're against,
I didn't say that. That would be a grifting way of framing it. I did not do that.
Well, you said okay. Frankly, 20 is too slow, man. Like driving in a school zone, 20 miles an hour is crawling. It is crawling. Most cars, it is nearly physically impossible that you have to consciously drive 20. They are not made to drive that slow.
Wait, cars aren't made to drive that slow?
It's hard to drive 20 miles an hour. The car will virtually drive 20 miles an hour
all your life.
No,
I mean
that is not why.
If you're getting ready to leave out of your driveway,
yes,
and are you going to say then this is hard to go slow?
If you're driving 30 miles an hour, like the speed limit is the vast majority of the places that we drive, slow down to 20. Just slow down. You see how hard it is. You're like, oh gosh, I got to be. Nope, it's 23. Oh, I'm still 20. Oof. 20 is crawling, dude. That is like slower than the average teen biker can ride on a flat road.
So no matter if you're on time, Ursula, do you think that what?
I think.
Do you think no matter if you're human nature makes you? I need to get there right away.
Yes, human nature is you always want to be the one in the front of the line. You always want to go beyond what is posted there for you. If it's 25, you're going to go 30. If it's 20, you're going to go 25. There's always going to be, well, that's a suggested one, and I'm going to go a little faster and think that I'm not going to get caught. The only time it becomes a problem for you is if you hit somebody, if you get in an accident. But yeah, I think it's just human nature that no one wants to be told what to do and no one wants to be last. They want to be first.
I think it goes back to our conversation on when we were talking about drunk driving here in the state. We need to change the attitudes of, well, I could have up to 2 and drive. And I think with this lowering the speed limit, we need to change people, or like Chef said, consciously, we need to change people's idea of like, yo, slow down. And the only way for people to slow down is they're not going to slow down by nothing. You got to actually put it down there.
You're right. You're right. So changing the speed limit, I think, is worthless, right? Seattle has done this for years. I don't think there's been a meaningful reduction in, fatal car accidents in the city of Seattle because they reduced it in residential streets. There's 2 ways to do it. You can put cameras in everywhere.
5.
Right? You can put cameras in everywhere and slap people with tickets for driving 27 in a residential, which I think is ludicrous. Or you can change the architecture of the streets and you can put in speed humps and things like that. I'm not against doing that.
Do you think it's ludicrous if your kids are playing in the neighborhood street and
for 20
driving
somebody to be doing
miles per hour?
I don't think it's that ludicrous. It happens all the time. Like, look, you have to be aware, even if you're in a residential street, like 30 is a pretty normal speed limit. If I see someone doing 35 or 40 on my street, my head spins.
Well, I'll tell you,
if I see someone doing 27, heck no.
I'll tell you places where we don't hear problems. Fife, Fircrest. Send out some other places that we don't hear any of these problems.
Paul from the 907 says, Chef needs to stop. Every modern car can have its cruise control set to 20
miles an hour. I set my cruise on 20. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You want citywide school zones. That's what you want.
In fairness to Chef, he represents a small. He represents some people. Ursula on our text line.
Well,
and
Jason
around
in
here.
Tacoma, I never agree with Chef, but he is 100% right. 20 miles an hour is painfully slow.
And Chef has small kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm being realistic, man.
Okay.
We'll put in speed humps. I don't care. I don't want tickets.
We'll agree. Okay. Agree to disagree. Let's talk about, we talked about lowering speed limit. How about lowering expectations? Because maybe we just need to give the Mariners a break. The Chicago Cubs blew the doors off the team, handing them a second historic
in 5 days.
loss in less than a week. Sorry. That's all. The Cubs crushed the Mariners at home last night. I was too busy with the perfume party, but it was 19-2.
Yeah.
With 2 grand slams from 2 players that were not Mariners.
Yeah.
Okay, and then just 5 days prior, the M's lost 22-0. So we have 19-2, 22-0. Let me do the math on that. That would be 41-2. Wait, no,
39-2. Right?
So 19-22. Yeah, so that would be the Mariners were outscored 39-2. Yes.
Yeah.
Lordy.
So let me just say this. Now, you know what? I used to like tag team back in the day when it was WWF. So I'm going to tag team right now. Nick, what you got?
I think one day is not a good example of the whole season for the Mariners. I mean, they won the series against the Cubs, for crying out loud. I was at the 2 games where they walked it off on Friday and Saturday night. And I feel like for the Mariners right now, when they lose, when it rains, it pours. With the Brewers losing 22-0, and now what was it, 19-2?
Yes,
against the Cubs. If they keep winning series, that's the more important part, and that's what they did this weekend. And how they lose, it doesn't matter to me. It's just win more than you do lose.
They're 3 games back, Ursula. They're 3 games back. Still got an opportunity.
So is that enough, though, to say this is a successful season? When we've got games like this?
I mean, if they make the playoffs, yeah, it's successful. And you know what? Here's the thing. I look on social media. Whenever the Mariners lose now, it's like clockwork. Fire Dan Wilson. Fire Dan Wilson. Get rid of Dan Wilson. But boy, I was looking on social media on Friday and Saturday. I didn't see anybody giving praise to Dan Wilson, right? It's almost like the offensive line in NFL football. They only blame the offensive line when things aren't going right with the team.
Truth.
But when things are going great, when JSN is catching touchdowns, Offensive Player of the Year, when people are talking bad about Anthony Bradford and they win the Super Bowl, crickets. So why don't we praise people when they do well? Why do we sit and wait for them to fall? That's weird.
Well, I'll talk about something that is really positive.
What's that?
Because the Seattle Storm's been having a rough season. It's a building year for sure. But there's one player that is doing something that all of us have been trying to do for so many years, as long as you've lived here, which is to thaw the Seattle freeze. And we're talking about Storm guard Natisha Heidemann.
Mm-hmm.
And she started this casual running club called Run Buds after floating the idea on Twitch a couple of weeks ago.
I mean, it's just exciting, like people really showing up for just to be outside, exercise, community together. Like this is just all for fun.
So about 25 people joined the first run, and by the second, nearly 400 people showed up at Green Lake, including runners who drove all the way from Tacoma. And the group did the full 2.8-mile loop. But Heidemann says you don't have to run. You can actually walk, you can scooter, just simply come and support them.
The best part about it, like I feel like we're bringing out people that don't normally run or don't normally get outside, but just to be able to come, enjoy each other. Again, we accept all, like just walk it if you want to, run it, do whatever.
Circling Seattle Sports captured those interviews with Heidemann before that second event, but her goal is getting people to be active, but also helping folks connect at a time when we are so disconnected from each other.
Well, the text line's blowing up. It's 41-2.
Yeah, I had it right.
People are texting in. I know your copy was 39.
Well, but
I can't math.
So
the run difference.
It's 41-2.
Yes. It's 41, exactly.
Okay.
41-2.
Okay, back to this topic right here. I love this. And the reason why I love it is because she and very small amount of athletes, I think, are using their platform for good. What I mean by that is they are so worried about their brands. They're so worried about, you don't have to talk and speak politically. She's not talking politics here. She's like, hey, come on, show up. It's a bunch of people. And so these athletes today, all right, I'm getting in trouble. These athletes are so worried about losing their brand and losing money when the athletes of yesterday are the reason why you're making so much money today. There were athletes years ago that used their platform for good. Now, unfortunately, we live in a time now where you can lose money for speaking out positively about things. It's an unfortunate thing, but I love this story, Ursula. I'm glad you brought it to us because this is fantastic. Shout out to this player, to Nishida, and shout out to the Storm. This is amazing.
Yeah, Natisha. Yeah.
I said Nishida? Sorry.
I love it. I love the fact that she sees how great that is. One of the biggest joys in life is connecting people. It is one of my biggest joys is allowing people who might not normally cross paths have a chance to meet. Mm-hmm. It's why I so enjoy getting to know some of our listeners on a personal basis. It's why I love hosting events where people because we're so disconnected. And I love that she's doing this and using her platform to do something positive. Mm-hmm. And that's the positive messaging that we need.
See, that's what I like about you, Ursula. That's what I like about Natisha. Can't believe I call her Nishida. But what I like is that you're using your platform for love. So when you bring in people together to get together over perfume and colognes and smells. No, I'm being serious. Because
it sounds crazy, but it's so
because
fun.
The truth of the matter is that is less positive than these grifters out here that are bringing people together for hate. And so when you see and hear about you putting together things like that, or you hear about Natisha doing things like this, We need more of that. But unfortunately, you can't monetize that the way you can monetize hate. I said it again before I say it again. Reminds me of Nino Brown, who was in charge of the Carter, who they came and they were out there and the fiends were out there and they wanted this specialty crack rock back then. And Nino Brown made a whole lot of money and he was selling something awful to the people. But they didn't know because they thought that it made them feel good. And because it felt good, they just kept buying it and buying it and buying it. And meanwhile, Nino Brown and his crew continued to make money. Hate for profit.
I feel like you're on a theme today.
Oh, but no. That is my new thing. I'm going to talk about hate for profit constantly, all the time.
It's too prevalent. We need to make it kind of a thing that goes away.
And Ernie Kent said, Ursula, you did just that yesterday. Great job.
And Ernie smells really good today because he's wearing a new cologne.
Yeah. Ernie smells good today because he ain't doing nothing but sitting around drinking coffee and listening to the Gee and Ursula Show. That's why he smells good. All right. Coming up here next is time for Agree to Disagree. Gee and Ursula. This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes.
Dear Ursula, I have a group of friends who have bonded over...
Hi, I'm Ursula Reutin from the Gee and Ursula Show, and I'm launching a new podcast called Ask Ursula. This is your space. Real life, real questions, whether it's about family, friendships, love, and yes, even the fun stuff like travel and finding your signature scent. Hit me up and ask your questions at mynorthwest.com/Ursula. I look forward to connecting with you.
At mynorthwest.com and the Gee and Ursula YouTube channel.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
Truck started slow. Battery might be toast.
Slow starts are the first sign of heat damage to your battery. We'll test it, no charge.
Thanks. And if it is dead?
We'll set you up with a new, fully warranted battery, some up to 5 years, and we'll recycle the old one.
Thanks for the rundown. Lead the way.
Get free battery testing, charging, and recycling at AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-762-6565. That's 800-762-6565.
Are you looking to buy a house, but like everyone, you're priced out of the Bellevue, Kirkland, and Seattle market? Many buyers have the income, the credit, and the desire to own, but simply don't have the down payment, often at least $75,000 just for a starter home. Hi, I'm Scott Riereka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue with a great opportunity for home buyers. Introducing our Legacy Opportunity Loan. Legacy Group Capital has a select group of 100 new construction, single family, and townhomes in the top Western Washington locations. Acquire a new construction home with no down payment, allowable closing costs paid, and a competitive rate. Yes, that's no down payment and some closing costs paid by Legacy. A wise man once said, the hardest part of winning in real estate is just getting in. And now you can with our Legacy Opportunity Loan. So get in the game.
Limited properties available to qualified Washington borrowers. Learn more about this limited opportunity at LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital, LLC, and MLS ID 99045. Visit LegacyG.com for additional program details.
My name is Anne. I live in the Bay Area, and I'm 68 years old. I helped my mom navigate Medicare. That was a nightmare I hope never, ever to have to go through again. It was awful for her, it was awful for me, and I just knew I never wanted to go through that. I knew that there were choices and that there were balances to be made and that it could be totally impenetrable. Chapter basically does the work for you. When you're turning 65, when you're looking at going on Medicare, they will look at all the options for you, give you advice as to what's best. One plan might be better for this, one plan might be better for that. I didn't have to do that calculation. They do the research and you don't have to pay for it. We gave a person the information, a person got back to us. You don't have to make yourself crazy.
To learn more about how you can get free personalized Medicare advice, visit chapter.com today.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here with my buddy Shannon O'Kelly from IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Shannon, you know I love this time of year. It's the boys of fall. They're out there playing football, but we also know that sport, especially professionally, gets guys banged up. And they have doctors and trainers and staff there to put them back together. What about for those that do get hurt being active out on their own? Where do they go?
They go to IRG Physical and Hand Therapy, Brock. We've always been available for the public, the consumer, that person out there that maybe has a bump or bruise, and maybe they're a recreational athlete. We are here to help them, give them guidance. But remember, Brock, in the state of Washington, we have what's called direct access. That means if you have an injury or a bump or a bruise, a problem, come see us. We can get you started in physical therapy right away, and we will navigate all the insurance complexities here at IRG Physical and Hand Therapy.
And the sooner you start, the sooner you feel better. And with over 40 locations all over Puget Sound, they're easy to find. You can find them online as well at irgpt.com. That's irgpt.com.
Hello, sweltering Seattle. John Curley here. Is your home staying cool? Are you losing sleep because it's just too hot? At Home Comfort Alliance, the goal is not to sell you a new system. It's to fix the one that you have. Repair first, replace only if it truly makes sense, saving you time and money. If your system's done, a heat pump gives you both cooling and heating for year-round comfort. Get real pricing in 60 seconds at HomeComfortAlliance.com. Call the comfort people. Home Comfort Alliance.
At Sound Kitchen and Bath, every kitchen is custom. Hi, this is Tammy Michaels. We've created thousands of beautiful custom kitchens featuring gorgeous cabinetry and finishes with extraordinary woods like American black walnut and cherry. All design styles from mid-century modern, traditional, contemporary, and more. We excel at custom kitchen design and will make the process easy and enjoyable for you. Sound Kitchen and Bath, soundkitchenandbath.com.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. Canada and the U.S. are in a trade war. Canadian officials are pushing back on the new tariffs that are now imposed on Canadian imports into the U.S. 50% tariffs are now imposed on some Canadian imports, which are paid by U.S. companies importing the goods. More from ABC's Karen Travers.
50% tariff on Canadian goods coming into the United States. The White House, though, this morning, even as the president is digging in and now announcing the potential of new tariffs that he says would not go into effect until January 1st. Unclear why he would wait so long for that. We, of course, have asked the White House. But they're also downplaying the potential impact on American consumers and the American economy.
You might want to fill up before Labor Day. Gas Buddy says Americans could see the national average top $4 a gallon on the holiday for the first time ever. The current Labor Day record is $3.83 a gallon, set back in 2012. Gas Buddy's Patrick DeHaan says when you combine Iran, Ukraine hitting Russian refineries, and hurricane season, the fuel market together to predict is harder.
It's like predicting a room full of levers and being able to predict which levers are going to move all at the same time.
Meanwhile, the U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve keeps shrinking. It's down to about 295 million barrels and dropping by about 5 million a week. DeHaan says that release should wrap up by the next 6 to 8 weeks, but gas prices could stay unpredictable for a while. Meanwhile, crews on the coal wash fire are getting a mixed weather break today.
The forecast today is for hotter temperatures, but for the wind to remain at a minimum.
Fire Information Officer Jody Walker says crews will use the calmer conditions to strengthen fire lines and knock down hot spots.
Possibility for some fire activity today because of those temperatures, but we're hoping that the lack of wind will keep that at bay.
The blaze near Mabton and Benton in Yakima counties has scorched nearly 39,000 acres in the last 2 days. Evacuation levels have already been lowered from level 3 to level 2. 1 home and 2 outbuildings have been destroyed. For your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic, Linwood to Seattle is running about a half an hour right now. Seattle to Linwood also about 30 minutes. And Everett to Seattle is about 45 minutes. This traffic report is brought to you by Harborstone Credit Union. Earn up to $30 per month just for using your Harborstone PNW Cashback debit card. Open your free checking account online today at harborstone.com/cash. For your forecast, sunshine today with highs in the 70s and 80s. Look out for some haze this afternoon. Right now, it's about 68 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Kashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
It is 11:33. You're listening to the Gee and Ursula Show. It is time for us to agree to disagree, which is brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves. Just really go at it.
No fair. I don't even know what we're talking about.
Yeah, that makes two of us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're going completely blind, trusting Chef
This is
to
my
come up with
secret
some good
advantage in
questions.
this segment.
Yeah, so he's going to have the best answers for sure.
I'm going commando here. What do you got?
Why do we still have to wait 2 weeks to get paid for work we've already done? Younger workers increasingly want access to their pay immediately, just like Uber drivers can cash out after completing a ride. Fortune covers this. It's called earned wage access, but only 3% of employers in the U.S. offer it. 10 million workers are already doing this, including salaried folks who are accessing services that will allow them to draw a paycheck daily, but they have to pay a fee in order to access that money. Hence why more workers are saying, hey, boss, you should be paying me every dang day. Gee, do you think this is something that workers should have more of a right to access daily pay or, you know?
Real quick. And then they would still, you're saying that they would pay a fee. If they had access to it every day, they would pay. It's almost like Venmo or Cash App, right? Like for years, by the way, just so we're being transparent, for years, if Nick were to send me money, Cash App, I would go ahead and pay that percentage because I needed that money right now.
Yeah, well, there are services where you can access your quote unquote daily pay for a small fee.
Right. That's
but,
the game.
an employer could also issue you a daily paycheck.
Right.
To your bank account, like Uber does.
I'm quite sure.
One's called Daily Pay.
Yeah.
That's one of the platforms.
Are you looking stuff up?
Yeah, now I am.
So this is what I'm going to say. I'm going to say subjective.
Yeah.
Right? I would say that if you do that and you want access to daily pay, expect a fee because that's going to come with the cost for the company. But sometimes you need your money, and with Venmo and Cash App, Ursula, I used to pay that. I need that money. You know what I'm saying? You send me that. I needed that. What do you got?
For my own good, I'm glad that the company pays me every 2 weeks.
hey, again, that's a very good point.
Wait,
it's subjective.
I mean, yes, exactly. Yeah. I can see where, in the case of Uber drivers, Uber Eats, etc., it's easier to do because you're doing those trips.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing, and it's easier calculations. It's already built into the site, the platform, the company's business model.
Oh, no. The business model for that is it's usually every week.
Okay.
But now you can pay.
Okay, you can do. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So, but I think just really, I mean, one of the most cynical way to look at it, but it's also factual, is that companies are able to hang on to the money longer, and they're able to keep afloat, and then it's
pay Peter to pay
easier.
Paul.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's easier for companies to do it that way.
Right.
But let's face it, there would be a higher administrative cost
There
for
would
sure.
be. Yeah, you
it
gotta
would
pay
be
for
a bigger burden for sure
Yeah.
to do it because you have to verify the hours, and then what if there's overtime? What if there's this, that, and the other thing? So I think that would be more difficult, right?
Yeah.
And then there's also looking at, and this is where I'm diving into it, when you're looking at tax and accounting shifts and creation of Social Security and income tax withholding, et cetera, et cetera. It's just, it would be untenable, I think, for a lot of companies to do it more than every 2 weeks.
I got a situation, and I'm going to see what you guys think.
Okay.
Here. So check this out. Let's just say you're getting ready to do an event on this Saturday. Right? And the organization says, hey, Ursula, we can pay you your money right now, today, or we can give you the money after you're done with the event. What would you rather have?
After the event.
Chef, what would you rather have? Oh, let's say it's a month out. Let's say it's a month out. A month out. Would you rather have the money now, a month out, or after the event?
Actually, knowing myself.
Yeah.
After the event. You pay me now? Like, I'm going to continue. Job done. So, in my mind.
Me and my buddy, I don't want to put his name out there because you guys know who he is. I have this thing. I want to give me my money after the event because there's something about getting that money a month out. Then when I come to the event, it feels like I'm working for free. You know what I mean? Like, have you ever got paid early and you're showing up, you're like, oh,
that money was spoken for already.
Psychologically, it's amazing how people get paid.
Yes.
The motivator. And I'm with you, Ursula.
Yes.
In protection of myself, please, every 2 weeks. Please.
All right, let's go down to Clark County. The case of a basketball hoop becoming a criminal trial. So a Clark County jury. This is actually a jury trial.
And this is down in Vancouver, right?
Yeah. They convicted a Vancouver resident, former congressional candidate, and his name's Brett Heinrich, of malicious mischief and unlawful storage. The Colombian says he installed a basketball hoop in the street, like off the street, the sidewalk. In 2024, he painted court lines onto the street, and then he added a solar light so the kids could play after dark. But the court itself, the paint is in the roadway, not on his property. Family never obtained a permit. Vancouver officer says that the family explicitly declined to remove the hoop or clean up the paint. And Heinrich never says he heard anything from a cop or anyone. So the case went to a jury that convicted him. Prosecutors say, hey, just good intentions for the kids. That doesn't mean you didn't commit a crime. Heinrich, for himself, says, hey, it was all about the neighbors who didn't like kids making noise in the streets, and this was a ridiculous waste of public resources. Gee, what do you think about putting up a hoop on the street for the kids?
Yeah, well, I'd have to see this street. That's number one. I'm assuming it's not a cul-de-sac, okay? I'm assuming that. And I'm also assuming that this person was just trying to do something cool. I know what that's like for neighborhood kids to come over and hang out and have fun. But hey, look, I don't know how many times he got a warning told, hey, you need to remove that. But if he did get a warning, I can understand why they would tell him to remove that because, hey, we understand what you're doing, but this is not actually safe for the kids. But I haven't seen the street, so I can't say. What do you have?
I'm with you, G, actually. Yeah. And it sounds like, oh my gosh, this is government overreach a jury. It was a jury trial.
Yeah,
the jury just got it wrong because how can you penalize someone who's trying to do something for the kids? Now, he painted the street.
Yeah.
The baseline,
just
like the
stuff.
people who put rainbow crosswalks up or whatever it is. It's like you have the good intention, but you painted a street, which is not, the law is not there
legal.
for you.
Yeah.
That's not legal. That is illegal. And then with a light, too, that I'm sure that not everybody was into the light.
Right.
Not
What's
everybody
wrong
was
with
into the
neighborhood
court.
illumination.
And if something happens and someone says, well, I was blinded by the light, so to speak, whose liability is it? You know what I mean? There's things that could go into it. So it sounds like it was great intentions. But yeah, like she said, he was told over and over again, take it down. And he didn't. So sorry, a jury came back and said, it's a crime.
I used to play this game called Strikeout. In the Midwest, it's a game called Strikeout. And if you know, you know. What happens is when you play Strikeout, you put a box onto a brick wall or whatever. And then if you throw the ball, you hit it, and it's a strike, right?
Yeah.
So there you go. So anyways, one time my mom said I could not go up to Luella Park, the Luella school, to go play Strikeout. And I couldn't go. And my friends were wanting to go. And I was like, man, I can't go. And so I was like, who got some spray paint? And they was like, oh, I got some spray paint. So my homie Mikhail, he has some spray paint. So I got the spray paint. I said, oh, all right, come in our backyard. So come in the backyard, and I spray painted the box on the back of our house, our brick house, right? And so we're playing strikeout back there, right?
You're throwing a baseball against the house?
A rubber ball. So
Okay,
you play strikeout with a rubber ball. And my mom got home, and she was so mad. And I got into the house, baby, come in the house. I couldn't go outside. I was on punishment. My dad came home, and he was like, and he came in, he said, well, why'd you do that? I said, well, she told me I couldn't go up to the park, so I just put it back there. Is that bad? And he just shook his head, and he started laughing, and he just walked out. And before you know it, he was like, I can play back there.
I bet your mom was furious.
So guess what, though? When I go home for Labor Day weekend, I'm going to stop by. Do you know that box is still, you can still kind of see it? All right. Text message, feedback, and then we'll have Ursula's words to live by.
Progressive knows that for business owners, vacations hit different. But hey, at least you finally took a vacation. And look at that. You only answered 53 calls, 84 emails, onboarded one new hire, and covered for Chris while he's out on paternity leave, and you did it all from a kayak. Because you, my friend, know how to relax. All right, you may not know how to take a day off, but you do know both your personal and business auto insurance needs can be covered in one place with Progressive. So at least that's relaxing, right? Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm not one to say I told you so, but I switched to Pure Talk over a year ago, and ever since, I've been telling people there's no better wireless company out there. Well, a few months ago, a massive survey was conducted. 123,000 people were asked to rate their wireless carrier in 4 categories: coverage, support, data, and overall value. Well, the results are in. Guess which wireless company was the only wireless company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. 5 stars, every category. To celebrate, Pure Talk is offering the first 3 months of any plan for just $15 a month, including their top-tier unlimited plan. No contract, no commitment, just a very inexpensive way to test drive the only American wireless company with 5 stars in every category. Just dial pound 250, say micro, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service will take it from there. Again, pound 250 micro. And yes, I told you so.
Holy smokes! The On Cruise Adventures Rick Riz Show.
What happened at the ballpark yesterday?
Sparky's sitting on my scorebook here, my cat.
Friday mornings at 8:15 on Seattle's Morning News.
Looking for a simple solution to hair loss this summer? Get the same breakthrough one-day treatment I received at Advanced Hair during their once yearly summer savings event. Your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day, and Advanced Hair guarantees it will grow. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during their best offer of the year. For details and a free consultation, call 425-449-8185, advancedhair.com.
Certain industries expose workers to hazardous chemicals. If you worked in a paper or pulp mill, or in aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and have a child born with birth defects, your child may be entitled to legal damages as a result of your exposure to such chemicals. Birth defects have been linked to toxic chemicals, metals, and solvents used in these industries. If your child was born with brain or spinal cord damage, organ or limb malformations, blindness, cerebral palsy, genetic damage, or other birth defects, and you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill, aircraft manufacturing, or painting, contact us now toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your children may be entitled to legal damages. If you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill or aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and your child has a birth defect, call toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your call is confidential. 1-866-99-TOXIC. Message authorized by Weinstein Cajano, 600 University Street, Suite 1620, Seattle, Washington.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it today at carsforkids.org. Your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call 1-877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today. That's cars with a K.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
At Carrier, we know that a comfortable home is a happy one. Whether it's with innovative breakthroughs in heating and cooling efficiency or with different ways to control your home's temperature and air quality, we're always imagining new ways to make your home totally comfortable.
Turn to the experts and let your local Carrier heating and cooling dealer improve your home's comfort and efficiency. Visit CarrierNorthwest.com to find an expert near you. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Good morning, everybody. Well, what's the text line saying today, Ursula? What they saying?
Well, we had a lot of people writing us today. One of the topics that we brought up is Bellevue lowering speed limits to 20 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Something that you advocated just last week.
Yeah.
For every city to lower speed limits by 5 miles per hour. Randy from Edmond says, neither of my cars allow the cruise control to be set at 20 miles per hour. The system requires a speed greater than that. Okay, but just you can let up on the gas pedal? Doesn't have to be on cruise control, does it?
Right. Let's see here.
Stephen Enumclaw.
Oh, well, I was going to go down.
Oh, sorry.
Stephen Enumclaw. Hell has frozen over. I agree with Chef. By the way, Ursula, there was a lot of people texting in saying they finally agree with Chef. You know, he doesn't never usually get that.
No. No, I found my conservative streak, and I gotta say, it feels really good. I'm all about personal freedom. Hey, you know what? Maybe you should take responsibility for yourself on the street.
Did that feel good to say?
It felt so good. It felt so good. Hey, if you use the cruise control at 20 miles an hour, you might have a sticker on the back of your car that says, "It's an Edmonds kind of day."
Wait a minute. Was there nobody agreeing with G and...
Nobody that I included in your selection of text messages.
Text messages is agreeing with Chef. Funny how that works.
I mean, it's like a Chamber of Commerce survey, right? You might reflect a certain type of audience.
Gee, you and I are so wrong on this one. Everyone wants to speed. Everyone thinks lowering a speed limit, even in a neighborhood where it's chock full of kids.
Personal responsibility.
Yes. Apparently, we're off on this one.
Where are the parents?
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Okay.
They're both at work. It takes 2 full-time jobs to succeed these days.
Oh, my goodness.
All right. Would you take 6 weeks off at 2/3 of your pay? Dave in Shoreline says, give me the time off. I'll sit home and have a few beers and cut back on something else.
Lisa in Sammamish says, I'm with Ursula on this one. Unemployment is for people who lose their jobs through no fault of their own. If you're fired or for cause or you quit, you don't get unemployment. Why should you if you're on strike?
Alexia says, why would you not strike all the time if essentially paid for a sabbatical?
And then Matt in Mukilteo has a different opinion, though. He says, Ursula, I would go on strike in a heartbeat if I could make 100% of my income. I would not be able to survive off of 2/3 of my income. Therefore, I will never strike. Fear of pay reduction is what keeps us from striking. It is punishment for the working class, plain and simple.
Laura in Pierce County says, I work with a union, and I don't like the idea of being paid unemployment if they go on strike because I work with enough people that would take that opportunity to a heartbeat.
Should insurance companies be forced to cover IVF? Karen in Kirkland says, if we're going to mandate the IVF is covered, shouldn't adoption fees also be covered? I say yes.
No. It's not a medical procedure.
But it's also with the idea of having children. Having children is not a necessity.
How in the world?
Neither owning a home.
How in the world does adoption fees get into health insurance?
It's the desire to have kids.
Plus, like, health insurance does not make us whole, right?
Yeah. All right, Ursula, it's time for those good old words to live by. What you got?
Oh, man. It's Albert Einstein here. Live life to the fullest. You have to color outside the lines once in a while if you want to make your life a masterpiece. Laugh some every day. Keep growing. Keep dreaming. Keep following your heart. The important thing is to not stop questioning.
All right, good stuff. I love the always don't stop questioning.
Stay curious.
All right. Nick, what you got, man?
Well, maybe we had struggles from our sports team starting beef, with the Hawks dealing with injuries and the Mariners getting grief. But no matter what we're dealing with these past few weekend days, it's not close to what the Niners owner's dealing with at the Bay. And maybe we'd have some sorrow for this owner getting caught, but since he's on the rival team, there's no room for our thoughts. Makes sense if he took an extra 2 weeks off for less pay, driving in cruise control near a school zone, too. Punishment fits the crime.
Hey, real quick, Nick, you said you were there this weekend. That means you were there when Randy Rosarina hit that. Can you just help us understand what was it like?
Near sold-out crowd. There was a good amount of Cubs fans there, but when the Mariners started doing well, it got louder than when the Cubs made some plays on the field. So it was cool to see those Cubs fans go home a little sad.
Okay.
Won the series. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
How'd Sunday go?
You didn't have to say that, Chef. You said how Sunday go. You didn't have to say that.
I didn't go to Sunday. I wanted to go to the winning games.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Everybody, appreciate y'all. Thanks, Ursula. Good show. We'll do this.
Thank you.
Do this again tomorrow. Thank you, Chef. Appreciate you. Nick, thanks, man.
You too, man.
Hey, the Jake and Spike show, they're coming in next. Make sure you stick around. I'll see you. We'll see you tomorrow. Appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you had as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
A dark night, a quiet suburb. But for one family, danger lurks just downstairs.
Oh, no. That's just my husband getting a midnight snack.
Guilty. But
We have Xfinity Shield. It has a built-in Wi-Fi feature that detects movement without cameras.
well, what they didn't know is that an even bigger threat lurks online. A hacker.
Actually, Xfinity CyberSecure protects our connected devices, too.
Okay, fine. But what they didn't see coming
Is that these features are included with our Wi-Fi? We did. Kind of the whole point.
Well, this one's not getting a sequel.
What if protecting your home and devices could be drama-free? Introducing Xfinity Shield with Wi-Fi features designed to give you peace of mind. Visit xfinity.com/shield to learn more. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Xfinity Internet and compatible equipment required.
Join the conversation and text your favorite show on the KIRO Newsradio text line at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Summer is for letting it rip.
Swung on and missed, ripped it right by it. 7 scoreless innings. Marvelous Miller again.
Summer is for showing out.
Swing and a miss. Woo, 6 up and 6 down.
Summer is for Mariners baseball.
Logan Gilbert, he's knocked down a dozen in a row.
So call your favorite Walter and head to T-Mobile Park because our pitchers are rolling. From George Kirby to Senor Smoke.
Up in the attic at 101. Nothing but the express tonight for Andres Munoz.
Matilda would be proud. Mariners baseball. Trident's up.
Don't miss out on another great interleague series at T-Mobile Park. Julio Rodriguez and the Mariners are squaring off against Bryce Harper and the Philadelphia Phillies. Tonight and tomorrow night at 6:40 and Wednesday afternoon at 1:10 with a special midweek matinee. Get your tickets for this marquee matchup at mariners.com.
It's the Great Summer Sell-a-thon at the Spa Warehouse, and the deals are incredible. When the leaves turn and the temps fall, imagine sinking into your very own saltwater caldera spa. Bubbly, blissful, warm water right in your own backyard. Our Summer Sell-a-thon means massive savings on in-stock models, so owning your dream hot tub is more affordable than ever. Plus, get interest-free financing through 2028. Visit today for the hot tub of your dreams. Your best life starts at the Spa Warehouse.
Download the KIRO Newsradio app, where you can watch us live or stream us live anywhere, anytime.
How would this initiative, whatever this initiative is, how would he fund it?
Stay connected everywhere. Download the KIRO Newsradio app.
Is your car's AC blowing warm air? Don't sweat it. Right now, save $50 on any AC service at Bucky's Complete Auto Repair. Honest pricing, guaranteed work, 16 family-owned locations, and no appointment needed. Stay cool this summer. Bucky's.com.
The new All-Pro battery by Steel. Tackle any task with 60% more peak power exclusively. Available only at your local Steel dealer. 60% peak power comparison between AP300PC and AP300S.
I'm not one to say I told you so, but I switched to Pure Talk over a year ago, and ever since, I've been telling people there's no better wireless company out there. Well, a few months ago, a massive survey was conducted. 123,000 people were asked to rate their wireless carrier in 4 categories: coverage, support, data, and overall value. Well, the results are in. Guess which wireless company was the only wireless company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. 5 stars, every category. To celebrate, Pure Talk is offering the first 3 months of any plan for just $15 a month, including their top-tier unlimited plan. No contract, no commitment, just a very inexpensive way to test drive the only American wireless company with 5 stars in every category. Just dial pound 250, say micro, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer